So question number 15, legal audit we saw. Now, there is another audit with regard to, we call it as credit audit. So pre-release audit to be conducted before releasing the limit. So legal audit, EMT back the loans, 5 crores and above, you ask when it was to be done, I told you. Now the credit audit. After the loan is released, so whether everything is pakka subsequently, how the account is being maintained, what is operations in the account. So as per that is projected balance sheet and all parties performing it, etc. Everything will be done under the credit audit. So quickly let us go through. The exposure is about 3 crores and above, like your that is your pre-release audit. Credit audit is also for the exposure of 3 crores and above. For the existing parties, when the exposure reaches 3 crores, you have to do. The exposure of less than 3 crores also, credit audit is there. So as per the circular, if the exposure is less than 3 crores, circle to conduct 5% of the accounts randomly selected. So even when the exposure to a party is less than 5 crores, so 3 crores, circle can identify some of the accounts, totally or 5% of the account, randomly select and they can give for credit audit. So when the credit audit to be conducted, within 3 to 6 months of first disbursement is over. So when the disbursement is over, within 3 to 6 months of the disbursement over, credit audit to be done. Accounts in which additional facilities permitted, frequently maximum credit audit permitted in a financial year 2 and gap between 2 must be 6 months. What is the days? See, in an account, let us assume ad hoc is given, or additional facilities are permitted, etc. So 3 crores is already reached. So during the year, the branch is giving or the party is getting frequent ad hoc, or the party is getting frequent additional limit, etc. There also, already since it is crossed 3 crores, even if it is 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs, additional credit audit to be done. So there is a restriction for that. That is accounts in which additional facilities permitted frequently. Maximum credit audit permitted in a year is only 2. Okay, maximum credit audit permitted. So let's assume 4 additional credit facilities. Let's assume the party is already given 3 crores. During the year, you are given about 25 lakhs additional limit. After 2 months, you are giving additional 25 lakhs or 10 lakhs. So already since it is crossed 3 crores, even for 10 lakhs, you want to do credit audit. So like that, how many you will do? So that is a they told. So in a year, when the party is subject to frequent that is encashment or the limit, etc., maximum 2 credit audits can be done in a financial year. The gap between the 2 audits must be 6 months. Okay. So what the credit auditor will see: perfection of documentation, security follow-up and monitoring, submission of the statements to controlling office, deduction of warning signals in the account. Everything you will start seeing the account under the credit audit. Now, who are all the credit auditors? The next question is, who are all the internal credit auditors? For the pre-release audit, scale 4 and above are the auditors. So for within 48 hours, everything is over, they will come and do the pre-release audit. Here, bank can appoint both internal auditors and external auditors for credit audit. What is that? So the internal auditors, that the pre-release audit, scale 4 and above. Here for the credit audit, the internal auditors from scale 3 to scale 5. That is persons who are in the cadre of scale 3 to scale 5 in the bank will conduct credit audit. Then exposure of 3 crores to less than 5 crores, either internal auditor or external auditor. Again, I repeat. I told you all exposure of 3 crores and above subject to credit audit. So there are 2 types of auditors. Bank is having internally scale 3 to scale 5 and external auditors appointed by the bank. If the exposure is 3 crores and above up to 5 crores, all exposure of 3 crores and above credit audit to be done. If the exposure is 3 crores and above up to 5 crores, the credit audit will be done by internal auditors. If the exposure is 5 crores and above, only external auditors will do the credit audit. These are all the questions will come. So 3 crores and above, up to 5 crores, internal audit. Who are they? Scale 3 to scale 5. The external audit to be done if the exposure is 5 crores and above by the external auditors only. So you will give fees only to the external auditor, to the internal auditor. Okay. Maximum fees is rupees 6,000. For each audit, 6,000. Reports given by the external auditor to contain UDIN number. What is the UDIN, sir? What is an UDIN? Who will give you? Sir, friends, unique document identification number. Who will give you? See, whenever anything is given by the auditor, for example, balance sheet is signed and given by the auditor. Or, for example, you want a certificate from the chartered accountant. You tell the borrower, get a certificate from the auditor. So the party is coming and giving the certificate to you. You should know whether it is a medical certificate like what we are giving for sick leave, or whether it is an original certificate given by the auditor. Isn't it? You should know. So for that, whenever an auditor is giving a signed, putting his number with the Chartered Account of India, he is a registered number, like your registered number of the doctor, he has to put that number. So once he does it, what he is supposed to know, the Chartered Accountants of India Institute website has given a password to him. He will go to the site, use his custody and password and open his account. There he will upload this statement which he has given to the borrower. Or balance sheet he has signed and given to the borrower, that balance sheet copy he will upload it there. So, and in the balance sheet copy and in the certificate he has given, it will give a unique number. The moment he uploads, it gives a UDIN number, the unique number it gives. He writes in the certificate and gives to the borrower. So, when the borrower gives anything, whatever you are telling, you bring from the auditor, when the borrower is bringing from the auditor, you have to verify whether it contains UDIN number. Without UDIN number, you should not accept it. So these are all that is things for you. No, you should not visit anything. So get the UDIN number, visit the website, that is Chartered Accountant of India Institutes of website. Put that UDIN number, it will tell whether this is the document originally signed by the auditor and given to the borrower. To avoid one more gap there. So the auditor has to give a 5 crores and above. External auditor only has to do the credit audit. He will give you the credit audit certificate and he should upload it in the Chartered Accountant of India site along with the UDIN number only he has to give. Okay, sir. Branches to rectify and confirm compliance within 7 days from the date of submission of the report. So within 3 to 6 months, the audit has to be completed. And what is the exposure, internal and external audit? What is the maximum fees you will give to the external auditor? And the report will be given and branches to comply with the audit confirmation within 7 days of the submission of the audit report. Then reports to be closed within 3 months from the date of submission of the report. So auditor gives the report, RO or CBOA will inform the branch will confirm it within 7 days. It will come back to the central office or regional office. They will prepare a closure note. The closure of any credit audit observation to be closed within 3 months from the date of submission of the report by the auditor. If suppose, let us assume, joint documentation is not at that. You know, joint documentation with some other bank you have to do. So let's assume something else in the account, it is not at that. Sanction terms and conditions not complied with. If the credit auditor finds out, if the authority feels that it requires some more time. So suppose if he has found out joint documentation is not done. So within 3 months, the joint documentation to be done and a closure report to be placed. If the 3 months the branch is not able to get the joint documentation report, another 3 months time will be given by the competent authority. So normally the credit audit report observations to be closed within 3 months. So if it is not to be closed due to various reasons, another 3 months time also will be permitted. That's also that's also with regard to credit audit. Let us quickly go through. What is the cutoff limit for exposure of credit audit? ₹3 crores and above. Question number 16, answer is A. Question number 17. In respect of exposures less than 3 crores, circle to conduct credit audit for -% of such account. 5%. Okay, 5%. What is the maximum fees payable to external credit auditors? ₹6,000. Question number 18, answer is C. The remorse of credit audit reports to be closed within 3 months. Question number 19, answer is B. Credit review and monitoring format. The next one we are going CRMF. Credit review and monitoring format is available for high risk accounts when the exposure is ₹1 crore and above 1 crore, ₹3 crores and above 3 crores. Let us see. What is the credit review and monitoring format? Say a post-sanction review and monitoring tool. review of conduct of the account, compliance of terms and conditions. So it is applicable for low, normal, moderate, and moderate risk accounts. If the exposure is that is 3 crores and above, both fund based and non-fund based. If it is an high risk account and if the exposure is above 1 crore, again I repeat, up to moderate risk account, if the exposure is 3 crores and above, this is CRMF format is eligible. If it is a moderate risk account, if the exposure is above 1 crore, CRMF is permitted, is eligible. So applicable for credit facilities, exceptions are that staff loan, etc. is not there. Last day of calendar quarter for low, normal and moderate risk accounts within 10 days from the due date to be updated in large credit monitoring module, LCM. Review of interest rate, concession for MSME loans to be done based on the CRMF of second and fourth quarter. So the CRMF format will be there. So whenever the exposure to a party is above this limit, the details of the CRMF that is about the party, it has to be updated in the CRMF format. Online, it will be submitted, it will go to the appropriate authority, either RO or CBOA. What is the periodicity? Once in 3 months, once in a calendar quarter. So based on very calendar quarter, it has to be uploaded and sent. And then the next point here, what you have to do is, up to moderate risk accounts, it is 3 crores and above. Up to high risk, it is 1 crore and above. Then that is there. So that is the CRM. Let us see the question. You'll be able to answer some points. Question number 19. No, sorry, 20. See, a credit review and monitoring format is applicable for high risk account when the exposure is rupees above 1 crore. Question number 20, answer is above 1 crore. Answer is B. Credit review and monitoring format is applicable for other than high risk account if the exposure is rupees 3 crores and above. Question number 21, answer is C. Large credit monitoring package is applicable for sanctioned limit of rupees 1 crore and above. Large credit monitoring package, LCM package is applicable for sanctions of 1 crore and above. With that is sufficient. Then question number 23. Our bank has put in a mechanism to effectively monitor the post-sanction performance of accounts with aggregate exposure of 250 crores and above from the entire banking system, including NPA accounts on a quarterly basis in tie-up with agencies for specialized monitoring. 250 crores and above. So we saw that. So for test paper 1, a little explanation is given for the ASM. See, exposure of 250 crores and above from the banking system for all accounts including NPA. Loans against deposit need not be included to calculate the exposure. That is to detect financial stress at any stage. These accounts are exempted from stock audit. Okay. Periodicity, quarterly, to be completed within 1 to 3 weeks. ASM will not be entrusted with more than 3 accounts at a time. Last year, it was more than 5 accounts. Fees, rupees 5 lakhs per annum for exposure up to 500 crores and rupees 8 lakhs per annum. The exposure is above 500 crores to be recovered from the party. So when the exposure to a party is 250 crores and above, not only from Canara Bank, from the entire banking system, the account to be monitored. So bank has given to an agency called the Agencies for Specialized Monitoring. The periodicity is once in a quarter. They will give you an observation, and these observations to be closed in a period of 1 to 3 weeks. You want to pay fees up to 500 crores exposure, 5 lakhs, above 500 crores exposure, 8 lakhs per annum, because all the 3-4 quarters they will be doing. The maximum number of accounts you can entrust to an agency at a time is 3 accounts. It is last year, it was 5 accounts. Okay, sir. Any change, anything is there, we'll see. Nothing. So something is there. Suppose if the ASM, that is Agencies for Specialized Monitoring, fee structure is given. If they want some more fees because of the complexity of some type of accounts, there are some authorities in the bank who can increase the fees and give the fees to the ASM. Up to 10% increase can be done, GM, CGM, HO, CSC, like that it is there. 1/4 of the fees to be paid on submission of quarterly reports. The appointment of ASM is for 1 year, that is for 4 quarters, and if required to be extended for another year, that is for another 4 quarters. This is with regard to ASM. You need not break your mind. So 2-3 pages are there in the circular. I have put in 2 slides. Tell me another. Agencies for specialized monitoring for exposure of rupees, question number 24. Okay, so question number 23 visa. Question number 24. What is the maximum number of assignments that can be given to ASM at any point of time? That is 2, 3. 3, sir. Question number 24. Answer is B. Agencies for specialized monitoring for exposure of 250 crores and above from the banking system are being appointed by the bank. As per HO circular, the fees payable to the agency is up to 500 crores rupees 5 lakhs per annum and above 500 crores rupees 8 lakhs per annum. Question number 25, answer is A. What is the periodicity of conduct of a review of standalone term loans sanctioned by circulated CAC and above authorities, except retail lending up to 5 crores? Now, we have been seeing the various reviews. There is, normally what is the periodicity of review? You also know in the case of a takeover of loan, a special review to be done in a year, twice in a year. Who is the authority to do the review also we have seen. Now, standalone term loan. If the standalone is sanctioned by somebody, a special review to be conducted for those standalone term loans also. Let us see. Annual review of standalone term loan sanctioned by circulated CAC and above authorities, except retail loans up to 5 crores. Review to be placed to the sanctioning authority. Here see, always the reviews will be placed to the next different authority. In the case of standalone term loans alone, sanctioned by the circulated CAC and above authorities. If a circular is sanctioned a standalone term loan without ODOCC anything at all, only a term loan he has sanctioned. And if it is a retail loan, exposure is above 5 crores. So that has to be reviewed specially. Who has to review it? Circulate has to review. The sanctioning authority has to review it. So sanctioned authority, periodicity is yearly, one-time review by head office after 6 months of first disbursement. So standalone term loan review, 2 people have to do. So once in a year by the sanctioning authority, circle head. Then as a one-time measure, the standalone loan sanctioned by the circle head to be reviewed by after 6 months, within 6 months of the disbursement by HO. So 2 reviews for the standalone sanction, and here you see that is the standalone term loan annual review is by the sanctioning authority. HO will do the review only once within 6 months of the first disbursement. Let us see the answer for the question, sir. What is the periodicity of conduct of review of standalone term loans sanctioned by circulated CAC and above authorities? Answer is yearly. Question number 26, answer is C. An officer who is designated to monitor the accounts with total exposure of 50 lakhs and above in a branch is called credit monitoring officer. Question number 27, answer is B. 50 lakhs and exposure in a branch, it is there. An officer is to be appointed credit monitoring officer. Question number 28. What is the time limit for creation, modification of security interest in CERSAI? You are giving a loan. Let's assume CERSAI. What type of charges you will do CERSAI registration, sir? You have mortgage, you have lien, you have pledge, you have, and you have hypothecation. For what type of loans you will do CERSAI registration? For mortgage? For lien? No. For pledge? Gold loan is pledge, no. Are you doing CERSAI registration? No. For hypothecation? So for vehicle also hypothecation, but you need not do CERSAI registration. Why? You are done under Vahan portal. Again, I repeat. For what type of loans CERSAI registration is required? Not only for EMT loans. For mortgage loans, CERSAI registration is required. One point. Then the loans is given under hypothecation. There also CERSAI registration is required. And another point is hypothecation for vehicle also you are giving hypothecation, but that CERSAI registration is not there. Only Vahan portal is there, which is equivalent to CERSAI registration. Now you tell me, why SSI registration is required? To find out the borrower is not having any other loan, such a report you take, and if he goes to some other bank, they will find out. Any other reason? SSI registration? Yes, if you want to proceed against the borrower under SARFAESI, the account should have been registered with the SARFA. Without SARFA registration, you cannot go under SARFAESI. Whether only immovable item you can go under SARFAESI, or even movable also you can go under SARFAESI. Movable items also you can go under SARFAESI, because for hypothecation you are registered under SARFA. Gold loan you cannot go under SARFAESI. Loan, if you are given by marking a lien, you cannot go under SARFAESI. Hypothecation, book debts, stocks, vehicles, you can go under SARFAESI. Besides mortgage. Okay, sir, let us see. Leave it. All those things you can go through. And very important. So, secured creditors. Who is a secured creditor, sir? The person who has given the loan is a secured creditor. We are all secured creditor. Banker is a secured creditor. So, secured creditors to create security interest. Immovables, movables with hypothecation, and intangible securities like patent right, license, copyright, under construction agreement. Don't worry about too much. Vehicle to be registered with Vahan portal. Attachment orders issued by revenue authorities, court, tribunals also. They also have to file the SARFA. I'll come to the important thing. So SARFA registration to be done by us for EMT loans as well as for hypothecation. So Vahan portal registered, SARFA registration need not be done. So besides you do the SARFA registration, let us assume income tax authorities issued an attachment order, or that is GST authorities issued an attachment order, or some revenue officials issued, or the garnish order has come, or court has issued some attachment order, that also to be registered by them in the SARFA site. This is a new guideline. Not only you, they also have to do the SARFA registration. One point. The next is filing of security interest and other orders shall have priority over any subsequent security. I will explain. Secured creditors due will be paid in priority over government dues if security interest is registered prior to the registration of the attachment order. So far, before the modification has come, let us assume you are given a loan. Okay, you are given a loan. You have created a security interest, etc. So subsequently, an attachment order comes. So subsequently, an attachment order comes. So government dues. So anything is realized from the account, even though you have created a SARFA registration, government dues are prior. You got my point? Earlier. So even though you have done SARFA, even though you have put through EMT, against the property on attachment order has come. So the property to be sold and the loan has to be closed. First, the amount of the attachment order only to be settled. Government dues that having priority. Now, after the amendment has come in the SARFA, everybody has to do the SARFA registration. If you have done the SARFA registration first, subsequently government order comes, first your liability to be cleared out of the property, then only government dues. Everybody has to do the SARFA registration. Okay, now, so secured creditors dues will be paid in priority over the government dues if security interest is registered prior to the registration of the government order. You should have registered before that. Then SARFA registration to be done on the same day of account opening. Earlier, we got time for 30 days. If the number of days are more than 30 days, you have to pay some penalty and you have to do the SARFA registration. Now everything gone. If you want to have a priority over the charge, so on the date of sanctioning the loan or on the date of opening the loan, you have to do the SARFA registration. Otherwise, next day if you do, in between somebody has created a charge, you will lose the priority. The concept of 30 days is not there. Okay, SARFA. You know, companies, we give loans to companies account. That also I will bring here. So loans given to the company. So whatever loans you are giving to a company, besides SARFA registration, etc., you have to create what is known as charge creation with the register of companies. A loan given to a company. So on the assets, you have to create a chart with whom Satsai and all is different. So you have to do the EMT, you have to go to the sub-registrar office, everything you have to do. Besides, the registrar of companies. Every company has to register with registrar. So wherever the register office of the company is there, so whenever you are giving a loan to a company, you have to register the chart with the registrar of companies. So within how many days you have to register? So within 30 days of giving the loan, you have to register the charge with the register of companies by paying the fees. Okay. So today, let us assume we are given a loan. This is called charge creation. Today, when you give the loan, it is called charge creation. When you are going registering with the register ROC, it is called charge registration. The time limit between charge creation and charge registration with ROC should be within 30 days. I will give an example. Today you are given a loan. What is the date today? 1st November. We are talking about charge creation with the register of companies for company loans. Okay. So today you have created a charge. You have to register on or before 30th November with the registrar of company. I'm not talking about SARSA. SARSA is different. That is different thing. So let us assume you have time up to 30th November. Let us assume against the same property, the company has taken a loan 10th of November. You are not registered the charge with the registrar of company. So against the same property, by doing something, the company has taken a loan from some other bank on 10th of November. So that company, that bank is having 30 days time to register with the registrar of company, isn't it? Let us assume that company, after giving the loan on 10th November, they created charge with the registrar of the company on 11th November itself. So they have time, but they have done on the next day. You have time, you are given loan on 1st November. Let us assume you registered the charge with the registrar of company only on 30th November. You got the point now? They gave loan on 10th November, they registered on 11th November. You gave loan on 1st November, you registered on 30th November. Something goes wrong, who will get priority over the asset of the company, whether that bank or your bank?
First one, who made a loan paper first?
No.
Who registered the loan paper?
No. Say, whomsoever has registered with the ROC within that is, you got a time of 30 days. Am I correct, sir?
Yes,
So
sir.
till which date you can do? Till 30th November. Okay. That fellow has done on 1st November, but 10th November, he has registered on 11th November. So that is immaterial. If you have registered, if you have done the charge creation with ROC within 30 days of charge creation, in between anybody has registered, still you will have the priority. But that is not there in SARSA. You see in SARSA I will tell you, you are given the loan, today you have to create the charge. If you don't create the charge, somebody creates the charge on the next day, they will get the priority. But coming to company account, charge creation with ROC, legally you have time 30 days. That you SARSA no time limit. So you legally there you have 30 days. So within 30 days, you can do the charge registration. So in between, somebody has given the loan and they have created the charge. So since you are doing as within the permitted time by the registrar of companies, you will get the priority. That question they asked last time. So we got a lot of time. But we got a lot of confusion with the loan document, everything. Again, I repeat. So charge creation with ROC for company account 30 days time is given. Within 30 days, if you create the charge from the date of that is within 30 days, if you register the charge, within 30 days from the date of creation of charge, that is loan documents. Within 30 days from the date of creation of charge, if you register it within 30 days, in between anybody does also, you will get the priority. Are you clear? Okay. So beyond that, you have forgotten to do the charge registration. Beyond 30 days. So beyond 30 days also, you can do the charge registration by paying additional fees. But one problem is, let us assume 30 days is over, 30th November is over, you are not done the charge registration. So on 2nd December, you are going to do that because you know additional fees can be paid and you can do within 60 days, another 30 days. So 2nd December, you are going.
registrar will do the charge registration by taking additional fees from you. Let us assume on 1st December, somebody has registered the charge. He will get the priority. 30 days, within 30 days, you have to, even though by taking additional fee, registrar will permit you, but you will lose the priority in between somebody has created. In SERSOI on the same day, company account 30 days. So within next 30 days also you are forgotten to register in company account. Whether anybody has given the permission, still the registrar will give you another 30 days. So first 30 days you are not done. Another 30 days you are not done. Another 30. Totally within 90 days from the date of loan paper, charge to be registered with the registrar of companies. Beyond 90 days, nobody will permit you. Earlier, beyond up to 360 days, the company law board will permit charge registration. Now, no. But even now, don't be under the impression, since more than 30 days also I can register the charge. So somebody will do it after your 30th day, he will get the priority. Okay, sir, questions will come. This has come last time. So Bank A has sanctioned the loan, charge creation date is there, charge registration day is this day. Bank B, charge creation, next day charge registration of the registrar of company. Who will get the priority? Got my point? So this type of questions will come. Good, sir. Next. SERSOI registration to be done on the same day of account opening. 30 days time, that is for creation, modification is no longer applicable. Penalty provisions beyond 30 days stands withdrawn. Secured creditor can proceed under SERFASI only if SERSOI registration is done. Such report is must before processing the loan proposal. Okay. This is the fee structure, sir. For fees chargeable for loan from party, if the loan amount up to 10 lakhs, charge creation 250 rupees, modification in charge 100 rupees, online search. You want to search online whether the party charge is created. There is, you need not recover any amount from the party, 10 rupees you have to pay. Again, I repeat. So for doing the charge creation with the SERSOI, depending upon the loan quantum, 250 rupees or 500 rupees. Modification also is there. Before giving the loan, there is online search to be done. For that online search, 10 rupees to be given to the SERSOI. Okay, that 10 rupees you need not recover from the party. Whereas this 500, 250 and all, you have to recover from the party. And that is whenever the loan is closed, online, satisfaction of security interest. Loan is closed. So you are going to remove the charge from that SERSOI side. For that, you need not pay any amount. Bank customer need not pay any amount. Keep that in mind. So charge creation, charge modification, charges to be paid to SERSOI. The charge will be collected from the customer. If it is search report in SERSOI, so 10 rupees to be paid to the SERSOI, the amount will be paid by the bank. If it is charge, satisfaction charge, neither the bank nor the customer need pay any amount to the SERSOI. Okay, sir? SERSOI fees. Okay, let you leave. Don't worry too much over there. Okay, let us not worry. Let us spend time over. Okay, sir. Now let us quickly go. Tell me, sir, now. What is question number 28? What is the time limit for creation, modification of security interest in SERSOI? 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, none of these. So same day, sir. Same day you have to do, none of these. 29. After registration of security interest with SERSOI by secured creditor, their dues will be paid in priority over other government dues. True or false? Always government dues is clear, or it is true, it is false. Sir, once you do the SERSOI registration, when do you have to do? Immediately. Somebody else, for example, government authorities, for their dues, if they create a SERSOI registration, if they do a SERSOI registration, that is, in spite of it is government due, since you have created the SERSOI before government dues, you will get the priority. Earlier, for government dues, no SERSOI registration. In that case, whether you have done SERSOI registration or not, any due, it has to go first to them only. Then only it will come to you. Now, since government has told SARFA registration for all revenue authorities also, if they have not done SARFA registration, if you have done it, subsequent to you, they have created a SARFA registration, you only will get the priority. Who is going to do first is important here. In company account, within 30 days is the criteria. Here, who is doing first is the criteria. Okay, sir, any question will come. Okay, now, so answer is true. Question number 30. What is the charges to be collected from borrower for online search in SARFA portal? Rupees 10, rupees 15, rupees 10, irrespective of the loan amount, none of these. Sir, 10 rupees not to be collected from the borrower. You got my point? So, what is the question? How much amount to be recovered from the borrower? None of these. But 10 rupees we have to pay. None of these. Isn't it? What, could you read the question, sir? What is the charge to be collected from borrower for online search in SARFA portal? So, no amount need to be collected from the borrower, irrespective of the amount, 10 rupees to be paid to the surcharge by the bank. Okay. So, answer is none of these. Question number 31. Monthly select operational data, MSOD, to be obtained from industrial borrowers enjoying working capital limit of rupees 10 lakhs and above. Just note down the figures, 10 lakhs and above. Quarterly operating system and half-yearly operating system, that is QOS and HOS, is applicable for industrial borrowers, merchant exports, traders enjoying working capital limit of rupees 5 lakhs and above from the banking system. Sorry, rupees 5 crores and above. Sorry, sir. Rupees 5 crores and above from the banking system. Question number 33. What is the time limit for submission of quarterly operating system QOS? Within 6 weeks from the end of the quarter. Within 6 weeks from the end of the quarter. Then, half-yearly operating system to be submitted within 8 weeks. Within 8 weeks from the end of the off year. 8 weeks. The project implementation progress report (PIPR) duly certified by the chartered accountants for credit facility in respect of acquisition of capital asset of rupees 50 lakhs and above, 50. So, if you are giving a loan for 50 lakhs and above, out of which a capital asset is created by the borrower, the borrower has to give you once in a quarter PIPR. The PIPR will be certified by the auditor and it will be given to you. Then, legal entity identifier. Legal entity identifier is a 20-digit alphanumeric code assigned to entity valid for how many years from the date of obtention? Valid for 1 year. 1 year, not permanent. 1 year only. Okay, answer is C. The periodicity of conduct of stock audit for moderate and high risk accounts, which are in standard asset, for exposure of this 1 crore and above. Let us quickly see the stock audit and the paper will come to an end. So if you go through the circular, you will get a lot of confusion. So the SME and all will see the NPA portion. Okay, very important. That is also other credit monitoring tools, all those things you can go through, very simple. So that is stock audit or inventory audit. So you are giving ODOCC against stock, or you are giving ODOCC against book debts. Those things to be audited. Okay, auditors will audit. So what is the periodicity of the audit? When the audit report to be closed, everything is called stock audit. So either stock audit if they ask, or inventory audit they ask, it is one and the same. Okay, when you give a loan against book debts, or when you give a loan against stock, periodicity audit to be conducted. So now, that is, if it is, I know what is a minimal risk, I told you, no, CNR 1, CNR 2, etc. If the borrower is classified as a minimal risk, or low risk, or normal risk, that is CNR 1 to CNR 6. Okay, if the borrower is classified either minimal risk or low risk or normal risk, and if the exposure is 5 crores and above to the borrower, exposure is 5 crores and above, then periodicity of stock audit is once in a year. You can say stock audit, you can say inventory audit, you can say receivable audit. You should not get confused. If they say, what is the periodicity of receivable audit? You should not think this fellow has not told me. Okay, so always you will find fault with the manager or with the lecturer, isn't it? No, you should understand. Valuation, inventory audit or stock audit or receivable audit, it is one and the same. So when to be done, what is the periodicity? It depends upon the risk grade of the borrower and depends upon the loan quantum. Up to normal risk borrower, that is, if the exposure is 5 crores and above only, you will do once in a year. If the exposure is less than 5 crores, whatever minimal risk or normal risk, you need not to stock audit. Suppose if they ask you, what is the periodicity of doing stock audit? In the case of the exposure is 4 crores for a borrower who is a low risk borrower. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years, none of these. You want to take the none of these. So that means everything you should know. So this column you should know, the other column you should know. Examiner will give any type of. So if you go through your circular, no, it is very complicated to understand. That's why I made it a small presentation. Similarly, if it is a moderate and high risk and default risk, what is CNR 7? We have seen, no, what is CNR 1, etc. So if it is a moderate risk account, or if it is high risk account, if it is a default risk account, and if the exposure is 1 crore and above, high risk, no. So the exposure is 1 crore and above, you have to do stock audit once in a year. So these things for standard asset, not for NPA. NPA separate guideline is there. So please understand the question, questions will come. So stock audit or inventory audit or receivable audit, when you have to do. The exposure is 5 crores and above, up to your normal risk once in 5 years. If the exposure is 1 crore and above, that is up to default risk, that is moderate risk, high risk, default risk, once in a year, exposure is 1 crore and above. Then unrated. Unrated exposure is not rated, 1 crore and above. So if the exposure is 1 crore and above, and if it is a standard account, yearly you have to do, that is a risk rating. So when you will not do that, when you have an unrated exposure, party has not given the balance sheet. Every year party has to give the balance sheet. No, party has not given the balance sheet. Or party is not giving the balance sheet for external rating. Or external rating waived accounts. These things are unrated accounts. In the case of unrated accounts, if the account is a standard asset, if the exposure is 1 crore and above, yearly rating to be done. Yearly stock audit to be done. Are you clear, sir? Okay, good. Unrated, 1 crore and above. If it is a substandard asset and doubtful asset, once in 2 years is sufficient. Again, I repeat, unrated account, standard asset, 1 crore and above, once in a year. Okay, once in a year. So if it is substandard and doubtful asset, if the exposure is 1 crore and above, it is an unrated account, sufficient if you do risk rating, if you do your stock audit once in 2 years. Okay, unrated, rupees 5 crores and above, if it is that is SSA and DA once in 2 years, yes. If the exposure is 5 crores and above, if it is an unrated account, and if it is a doubtful asset, once in a year you have to do. You see the previous slide, unrated, 1 crore and above, all substandard and doubtful, 1 crore and above, unrated, once in a year. Okay, sorry, once in 2 years. If the exposure is 5 crores and above, if it is a doubtful asset, then you have to do once in. So this is the periodicity of doing stock audit, inventory audit, or receivable audit. Then this question they are all those things they left last time. What last time? What point they asked? No. Okay. See here again, the exposure means not only from Canara Bank, from the entire banking system. Okay, sir. Another point what they asked is if ratings come down. If ratings come down, you have to charge higher interest. We have seen no whether stock audit has to be done. When the rating will come down, some problem in the account, he may not be having a stock. The book debts is not real, whether you have to do a risk rating, so whether you have to do a stock audit. What is the periodicity of the stock audit? You see. Last point. If rating came down by 1 notch, what is 1 notch rating down? You know, low to normal and moderate to high, etc. And if the valuation report is more than 6 months old, fresh valuation to be conducted within 3 months. If the rating comes down by 1 notch. And if the valuation done last stock audit is more than 6 months old, 2-3 conditions. By 1 notch, by 1 notch, the risk rating has come down. Immediately you find out when the last stock audit done for that account. If the last stock audit done for the account is 6 months over, then you have to do immediately a new stock audit within 3 months. Are you clear? So normally the periodicity of stock audit, I told you. Standard asset, NPA, doubtful, loss asset. I already told you about stock audit periodicity. 1 crore and above, 5 crore and above. This is an exception. So 1 crore and above. Last year, low risk. This year, when you do the risk rating has come down. Downgradation. Immediately, whether you have to do a stock audit or not. So you find out what is the last stock audit date. If the last stock audit date is already completed 6 months, and in the risk rating it has come down by 1 notch, immediately you have to do a fresh stock audit within 3 months. These are all the questions. But they have told all these things. I told so many things. Finally, one small silly question they asked. If valuation report is not older than 6 months, so downgradation by 1 notch, valuation report is more than 6 months, within 3 months. If the valuation report, last valuation report is not more than 6 months, no need for fresh valuation. Okay, what? Very good. 2 or more notches. So downgradation is by 2 or more notches, and fresh revaluation to be done within 3 months, irrespective of the date of the earlier valuation report. 1 notch, you have to see what is the previous valuation date. If it is less than within more than 6 months, you do one valuation within 3 months. If it is less than 6 months, you need not do any revaluation. If it is 2 notches or more than 2 notches, irrespective of the previous valuation date, please do the revaluation once immediately within 3 months. Okay, wow? Very good. Okay. I'm not even leave it. NPA accounts, leave it. 3 months, all those things you can read it, no, not a problem. Okay. See the point number 3 they asked last time. That is maximum number of valuation to be given for current asset valuer in a year. See, sorry, again I forgot to tell you. Inventory audit, receivable audit, stock audit, or current account audit. Current account, that is current asset audit, all the same. Okay, you don't get confused what's the current asset audit. Stock audit, inventory audit, receivable audit, or current asset audit is the same. Okay, so last year the question was, since your circular 370 for 2020, that was the first credit monitoring and credit monitoring review policy of the bank. Subsequently, this year we have 374 for 2023. So, as per that policy, all the years, I will not change the circular number. In all the years, stock audit in a year, you can give to the auditor maximum 3 years. You know ASM maximum 3. Okay, that is agencies for specialized monitoring. Similarly, stock audit maximum 3 accounts. This question they asked. We did so many things. We read so many things. Finally, they asked how many accounts to be given to the stock auditor in a year. So 3. Okay, sir. Same valuer is not allotted with the audit of a particular account for more than 3 years consequently. Okay, if they ask that question, don't miss it. In the first fortnight of June, CBOA will allocate the work to the auditors. Timeline. Maximum time limit for completion of the audit by the auditors is 2 to 6 weeks. The auditors to complete the work before November of the financial year. Branches to complete the observations, if any, notified by CBOA within 2 weeks. Stock audit reports to be closed before December of the financial year. Okay, sir. So these timelines, you have to know, you have to read anything because we do not know what question the examiner will ask you. He is always fascinated by the number in the circular. That is why he told, so within how many number of stock audit can be entrusted to an auditor in a financial year? We got that number 3. So 3 is a number. So we thought periodicity is more important and downgradation is more important. We studied too much on that. We left this. So that is why in this year presentation, I have put what is the timeline for closure. So when he has to submit and when CBOA has to give you the observation, within how many days you have to give the reply, and when the stock audit report to be closed before the end of the financial year. So the idea is any question will be asked. If you take the topic, you should be thorough with the topic. Okay, sir. Quickly we'll go. Now you tell me. This is question number 37. The periodicity of conduct of stock audit for moderate and high risk accounts standard asset for exposure of 1 crore and above is once in a year. Question number 37, answer is B. Maximum number of valuation to be given to inventory auditor in a year is 3. What is the periodicity of PRR 12? When you prepare the what is the PRR 12, sir? Not only expired everybody. Due date of the AOD. Due date. Not only expired. That is you have to submit the PR expired and expired. Everything you have to submit. What is the periodicity, sir? Half-yearly? July, 31st July? Or whatever it is. What is the date? Now will come on after that. You told me half-yearly. Agreed. July and December. What is July and December? June and December, you are told that is June and December, sir. That is also correct. Then date.
Month of last month.
Now ask on which day?
31st July.
No, not submission. Periodicity. So as on this date, you have to prepare. You submit within 1 month. Okay. So as on these days, these AODs are having time limit or these AODs expired. You have to take on a particular date, you have to take, no? So as on which day, we are told to be prepared. I'm not asking on which date you are submitted. 1 month after preparation. As on which date we are told to be prepared, sir? So June and December is correct. What is the date? Last Friday. I know you will tell 30th June and 31st December. I know. So it is last Friday or you should tell the bank, or all of you should tell the bank, don't make for one thing last Friday, one thing last day. Everything make uniformly last day, isn't it? Employee suggestion scheme portal is there under your SAS. Submit it. Isn't it? What is the difference between last day and last Friday? These things were there. When I was in head office, I prepared these conditions. Still, same thing is followed even now. You Google babies join the bank. Who are Google babies? You are all Google babies. Isn't it? So I call the youngsters as Google babies in the bank. Why you know? Why? I call everything Google only. They won't believe others. So my daughter-in-law, my granddaughter, no, if she sneezes, no, and she will come and Abba, she's sneezing. I told nothing worry, this you give sufficient or you apply. She won't believe me. She will go to her room. After 5 minutes, she will come and tell what you told this time. Google will tell what we are experienced people telling, only Google will tell. Don't think that Google will tell something new. And you know what has happened? A bus from Kerala has started to come to Karnataka. That is 50 devotees were there. Mugambika, Kullur Mugambika, isn't it? So Mugambika, goddess. A bus started from Thiruvananthapuram carrying 50 people. Driver has put the Google map. So next day morning, devotees got up at 6 o'clock. The bus was standing in Goa beach. Who? Devotees. They want to see that is goddess Mugambika. What they saw, you know, in Goa beach. I need not tell you. So Google also will make mistake. So I always call you youngsters as Google babies. Okay. Okay. Now, that is so now that is last Friday of June and December. You should ask the bank. Why for some statements is last day? Why for some statements is last Friday? What they reply they will give, no. Everything you will put on the last day, work pressure will be more. As if there is no work pressure now. Isn't it? Then everything they will reply. These things we made on those days when things were in the manual environment. Isn't it? Now everything computer, no. Still you are keeping quiet. You should change. You people have to change. Okay, sir. Good. So last Friday of June and December. Yeah. As per HO circular, this is the latest one, sir. Let's quickly go through the PowerPoint presentation. Then explanation we'll see. So review of retail loan. Suddenly, these fellows introducing lot of confusion. So normally review of retail loan is there, NB 179 or something. Once in 7 days after the month is over, you are submitting, etc. Besides that, they told review of retail loans with some exposure also to be reviewed with a certain periodicity. So let us see that. All mortgage-based retail loans with present exposure of above 100 lakhs. Okay, those things to be reviewed. Then all mortgage-based educational loans with a present exposure of 50 lakhs and above. So these two things are brought under the new scheme as per review of retail loans, HO Circular 412/23. All retail loans other than exposure, mortgage-based exposure is 100 crores and above, or 100 lakhs and above. The educational loan, if the exposure is 50 lakhs and above. So when you have to do the review. For retail term loans above 5 crore, okay, relatively, to be reviewed within 2 years from the date of first disbursement. So first review of these loans, but forget about monthly, that is within 30 days doing the review, etc. Besides that, these loans to be reviewed, if the exposure is 100 lakhs and above or 50 lakhs and above, backed by mortgage, these loans to be reviewed, that is on the second year from the date of disbursement. And accounts completed already 2 years as one-time measure to be completed by 15th June 2023. In the case of educational loan, see, all I told you, 100 lakhs and above, 50 lakhs and above. When you have to do the review, after 2 years from the date of first disbursement. In the case of educational loan, it is not 2 years after first disbursement. In the case of educational loan, that is the first review shall fall due on the date of completion of the course. So friends, retail loan review, new concept has come in the back. Other than the normal review which you are doing, if the retail loans or mortgage-based loan exposure is above 100 lakhs, or exposure is above 50 lakhs under educational loan, they have to be reviewed. The first review should be 2 years after the first disbursement. So in the case of educational loan, it is not 2 years, it is on the day of course completion. You should do the review. After the first review, no further review is needed during the lifetime of the account unless the account is categorized as SMA1. So I am talking to you about the review of retail loan. A new concept has come, HO Circular 412/23. So 100 lakhs and 50 lakhs. Mortgage-based retail loans, mortgage-based educational loan. So at the end of the second year from the disbursement. In the case of educational loan, on the day first review to take place on the date of completion of the course. One time in the life of the loan, no need for further review except. No need for further review except if the account is categorized as SMA1. Both educational loan as well as other retail loan, if it falls under SMA1, if the exposure is like this, etc., you have to do again the review of that account. After first review, if the account appears in SMA1, immediate review to be done within 15 days. When first review to be done, you know, for educational loan as well as for other loan. Then when a subsequent review to be done, no need until the account appears in SMA. Once the account in SMA, within how many days you have to do the 7th review? Within 15 days. Okay. Then if the same account appears in SMA1 within 6 months from the previous review, the same need not be reviewed once again. It is good for us because all our accounts appear in SMA only. Isn't it good? No. So again and again is going on appearing. What's the fun in doing the review? So, but it is, I do not know which bank has introduced this. You have to tell me, you are in the bank. So in a financial year, maximum review only 2 times. CAR score to be obtained not more than once in a financial year and charges to be borne by the bank. If the CIC score is high risk, review of pricing to be done by the original sanctioning authority. No review charges for loans up to 5 crores. For loans to 5 crores, above 5 crores, 100 rupees per lakh, minimum 10,000, maximum 5 lakhs, that will also be recovered from the borrower. So the 3 slides, questions may come because recently the scheme has been introduced, review of retail loan. Please be thorough. Let's see the questions, sir. What is the question number? Question number 40. As per HO Circular 412/23, review of retail loans has been introduced. What is not correct with regard to this? Which is not correct? All mortgage retail loans with present exposure of above 100 lakhs, all mortgage-based ES loan with present exposure of 50 lakhs and above, to be reviewed within 2 years from the date of first disbursement. For EL, first review to fall on the due date of completion of the course.
After first review, if the account appears in SMA1, immediate review to be done within 15 days. Yes, all are correct. All are correct, no? All are correct. So if you know the three slides, answer is yeah. Okay, sir. Next, what do you want? It is 3:30 now. Okay, sir. So recovery, 200 questions are there. We will complete it. We will complete it. Wherever it is required, I will run it fast. I will see that we are finishing the recovery because so far I have not covered even for CLDC training in Chennai. Even for association class also I have not taken. It is better they record it. If there is no time, they will upload it in the recording in the CBOA website. Okay, sir. Very important. Some changes have come in the year in the recovery policy of the bank. So I am not going to. Okay, sorry. Okay, good. Okay, sir. Good. So 3:30, as I promised, I finish at 5:30. IRACP norms. What do you mean by IRACP norms? Income recognition, asset classification, and provisioning. So they ask you to expand IRAC and P norms. So income recognition, asset classification, and provisioning. IRACP norms. Okay, sir. Good. When the overdue in a term loan account is more than 30 days and up to 60 days, it is classified as SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2, special watch account. See, I'll brief to you. You know you have term loan, you have ODOCC. So when the overdue in a term loan account starting today, if the overdue is today, it is called SMA 0. So it will be in the SMA 0 for 1 to 30 days. Okay, next question to you is, today, let us assume 500 rupees due in this account. This is last day. On today, he has to pay 500 rupees. So far, there is no overdue in the account. Today, as per the due date in the account, overdue date in the account is 100 rupees, 500 rupees he has to pay. Suppose by the end of the day end of today, you run the day end, bank run the day end, etc. Before the end of day end today, that is 1st November, if he has not paid the entire due, which is 500 rupees, from which date it will appear in SMA 0, whether from 1st November or from 2nd November. No, the day on which the amount is due, if the entire amount is not recovered on the day in which the amount is due, from the day end of this day, the account will appear in SMA 0. Today is the due date, full amount to be recovered today. Otherwise, SMA 0 starts today. That is 1 day overdue starts 1/11/2023. Not 2/11/2023. The 2/11/2023 was that before April 2022. RBI have changed the agreement. Okay, sir, this concept you should know. Okay, now, so that is 1 day to 30 days overdue, we call it as SMA 0. 31 days to 60 days overdue, we call it as SMA 2, sorry, SMA 1. 61 days to 90 days, we call it as SMA 2, then NPA. Okay, now, one more thing also I want to tell you. ODOCC accounts, they will not appear in SMA 0 at all. So, whenever in the ODOCC account, 1 day overdue takes place, it will not come to SMA 0. ODOCC account will straight away go to SMA 1 only when the overdues are 31 days. So, these are all the questions they will ask. Term loan will pass through SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2. SMA 0 means 1 to 30 days. Coming to ODOCC account, it will not pass through SMA 0. Straight away, it will go to SMA 1 only when the overdue started appearing in the account on 31st day. From 1 day to 30 days, it will not appear in your SMA 0. Limit to overdrawn, etc., will not appear. Okay, let's see the next question. The due date of a term loan installment is 31st March 2023. Before the day end,
process of 31st March 2023, the full dues are not recovered. From which date this account will be classified as SMA 0? Answer is A. Okay, sir. When the above account will be classified as NPA if the overdues are not recovered. I will tell you here. Here two differences that. Term loan, ODOCC account. If the overdue in the term loan account continues on the 91st day end, the account will become NPA. In the case of term loan, if the overdues are not recovered continuously, at the day end of 91st day only, the account will slip to NPA. In the case of ODOCC account, the overdues are not regularized. At the end of the 90th day itself, the ODOCC account will slip to NPA. Again, I repeat. So, in the case of a term loan, if the complete overdues are not recovered, at the end of the 91st day, the end, the account will slip to NPA. In the case of ODOCC account, if the amount is not regularized, at the end of the 90th day itself, the ODOCC account will slip to NPA. These are all things you should keep in mind. They will ask you minute question. Okay, now let's see the question. So when the above account will be classified as an NPA if the overdues are not recovered. So I'll show a presentation. See, I have given SMA 0 1 to 30 days, SMA 1 31 to 60 days, SMA 2. For ODOCC accounts, if liability is more than the limit continuously for more than 30 days, to be reported as SMA 1. SMA 0 is not applicable for ODOCC accounts. Correct, sir? Forget it. We are given an example. That is, let us assume the installment in a term loan due on 31st March. If it is not recovered before the day end of 31st March, it will go to SMA 0 from 31st March itself. Okay. If the overdue starts on that is the first day overdue starts on 31st March. Okay. For 30 days, that is, it will be in SMA 0. That is, SMA 0 is 1 to 30 days. So from 31st March to which day it will be in SMA 0? From 31st March to 29th April. 28th or 29th? 29th April. So from 31st March, 1 day overdue starts. It will be there till 29th April. 30 days will end on 29th April.
How much more time for us? Time?
Like that.
No. This session.
This is no break. They don't want break.
There's one break. Actually, he is ready. That's fine.
I'll say. Whenever I'm going very top, no, he's coming and cooling it down. Okay, I'll say. Don't worry. Okay, sir. Now, so I lose the chain. So on 31st March, 1 day overdue starts till that 29th April. You calculate from 31st March to 29th April, 30 days. On 29th April till 29th April, it is 30 days overdue, SMA 0. Then on 30th April, it will go to SMA 1 for 30 days, isn't it? So from 30th April is SMA 1 for 31 days to 60 days overdue. That is from 30th April to 29th May. 29th May, no. From 30th April to 29th May, it will be in SMA 1, 30 days. 60 days totally. Then on 30th May, it will go to SMA 2. So on 30th May, it goes to SMA 1, SMA 2. So it will be that. That is May 30th to June 28th, it will be in SMA 2. So totally 90 days is over. When it will slip to NPA, term loan on 91st day. So on 29th June day end, the account will slip to NPA. Are you clear, sir? Whereas, if it is ODOCC, on 28th June itself, it will slip to NPA. Term loan on the 91st day. So when it becomes overdue today if it is not paid, today overdue starts. It goes like that. So on 90th day, 91st day, when it will slip to NPA, ODOCC or term loan. Okay, sir. Answer for the question is 29.6. Question number 3, answer is 29.6. An OCC account will be classified as SMA 0 if outstanding balance remains continuously in excess of the sanctioned limits or drawing power, whichever is less between 1 day to 30 days, 31 days to 60 days, 61 days to 90 days, none of these. None of these. SMA 0 is not applicable for ODOCC. None of these. Question number 5. What is an out of order advance as per RBI notification dated 17th November 2021? What do you mean? So the concept of out of order is applicable for your ODOCC account only. There are three possibilities. When you say an account is out of order, that means that account is NPA. Again, I repeat. Concept of out of order is applicable only for an ODOCC account. When you call an account as an out of order account, that means that ODOCC account is an NPA account. When we will call an ODOCC account as an out of order account or an NPA account, let us see the presentation. You will be able to understand. Critic will come later. These are nothing, need not worry. Same. Okay. This I have given here. So, interest and or installment of principal remain overdue for a period of more than 90 days in respect of a term loan. On 91st day, it will become NPA. The account remains out of order in respect of all ODOCC accounts. On 90th day, the account will become NPA. Okay, sir. What is an out of order ODOCC account? Out of order account means NPA. You read the point. There are three possibilities, or any one of the possibility occurs, the account will be NPA. What is that? You see, if the outstanding balance remains continuously in excess of the sanctioned limit or drawing power for 90 days, on the 90th day, the account will become NPA. What do you mean by that? You have sanctioned a limit. That is a liability in the account. If the liability continues to be more than the limit or drawing power, whichever is less. You know, I need not explain what is drawing power. If the liability continues to be more than the limit or drawing power what you are sanctioned continuously for 90 days, it is called an out of order account because on the 90th day it will go to NPA. 1 point. Then you imagine another situation. The liability is not more than the limit. You have sanctioned a limit of 100 lakhs, but the liability in the account is only 50 lakhs, let us assume. Then also it will go to NPA. When? That is the second point. You read the second point. Though the outstanding balance in the account is less than the sanctioned limit or drawing power. Liability is less than the limit. 100 lakhs is the limit, 50 lakhs is only the liability. Still it will go to out of order when it is. 1. But there are no credits continuously for 90 days. Possible? No. What is the liability? 50 lakhs. What is the limit? 100 lakhs. By giving it, by adding interest, that is only it has come to 50 lakhs liability. What is the limit? 100. So last borrower has drawn 10 lakhs or 25 lakhs. Every month interest is debited to the account. So finally, the liability, let's assume today it is coming 45 lakhs. Limit is only 100 lakhs. It's not fully availed the limit. But still, the account will be classified as NPA because in the last 90 days, there are no credits in the account. Not even a single rupee. This account is called dormant account. There is a difference of dormant account in SB and current and dormant account in ODOCC. Dormancy, when you say in SB and current account, there are no debits or credits. Either customer induced debit or credit is not there, it is a dormant account. But in the case of ODOCC account, only if there are no credits continuously for 90 days, it is called a dormant account. They ask that question. So dormant means don't keep your, that is SB. For ODOCC, only continuously no credit. Debits may be there. Interest will be debited or party will withdraw. In the 90 days, party will withdraw. No. Party will say, sir, my limit is 100 lakhs. I am withdrawing. I am not taking you interest you debited, okay, but it is still within the limit party will tell. But when there is no credit in the account, that is called a dormant account, what message it gives to you, friends? What message it gives to you?
But if not getting the funds.
That is, the turnover is not passed through the account. How you have sanctioned the ODOCC limit? 75% or 80% projected turnover only you have sanctioned the ODOCC limit. No. So the funds is not coming into the ODOCC. That means what? He is diverting the funds some mischief he is doing. So dormancy means immediately debit, credit and save the account. Okay, no problem. Go to the party, find out whether activity is there. Okay, 10 lakhs, 5 lakhs account is okay. 50 lakhs, 1 crore account. What is the fun in doing credit and debit in the account? 1 rupee credit, 1 rupee debit. To avoid big, how many days you are going to do? Party would have died. Isn't it? In spite of that, you are debiting 20 rupees for PMSBY. Party died. Somebody is using your user ID and password, somewhere somebody is debiting. Isn't it? When the claim comes, you will face lot of problem. Lot of problem you will face. Where's application? New India Assurance Company will ask for the application. Whether you will sign a duplicate forgery signature and give the application, that also we may do. But New India will come and check the decimal signature in the SB account and here. So people are caught. So do not do any unethical things. There is a limit for unethical things. Yes, use your discretion. You have it. Yes, our idea is not to allow the accounts to become NPA. Agreed. We have to safeguard. Once or twice, okay. Continuously high value accounts. What is the fun in saving the account? When the unit itself is not there. When the lorry is sold, you know very well, lorry is sold to somebody. The unit is closed. Electricity bill, if you take and see, no credit debit at all. The electricity, no unit. Everything is closed. What is the fun in saving that account? You have to take a call, friends. What RO or CO will tell me, no, accounts are continuously becoming NPA problem. You tell, let this account go to NPA 10 lakhs. I will sanction a fresh loan to the extent of 10 lakhs. Sufficient. You sanction a fresh loan. So interest collected is taken care from this account. Go for surface action for the other account. Nobody will question you. If you're going on sitting into your seat, going on doing all these things only, no, people will go out and go for marketing. People will put you the other threat to you. Yes. Let the account go to NPA, no problem. I will sanction a fresh loan or I will initiate the recovery proceedings for this loan. People will keep quiet. Friends, always, I do not know, Tamil you do not know. That is just, Jesus has told, no, Tattingal Tirakapadam, Kelingal Kodakapadam. You have to knock the door. Tattingal Tirakapadam, then only people will open the door. Kelingal Kodakapadam, you ask, then only people will give you, isn't it? So you should be like that. Okay, sir, it is out of the purview. So first one is, liability continues to be more than limit for 90 days. On the 90th day NPA. Liability is not more than the limit. There are no credits continuously in the account for 90 days. That also become NPA. One more point. Liability is not more than the limit. There are credits in the account, but the credits are not sufficient to cover the interest in the last 90 days. That is also is diverting the fund. See, he is not bringing money to you to the extent of covering the interest. So three possibilities are, what is an out of order account? Liability continues to be more than the limit for 90 days, 90th day NPA. Liability is less than the limit. There are no credits, not even a single rupee in the account continuously for 90 days out of order on the end of the day. Then credits are there, liability is less than the limit, but the credits are not sufficient to recover the interest debited in the account the last 3 months. Then also on the 90th day, the account will slip to NPA. So OD, OCC account. Oh, okay, sir. Question number 5. Answer is E, sir. You take answer is E because I have given all the option. Let's not spend time in reading it. Question number 5. Answer is E. Question number 6. This is also giving a signal. You have to close the class. Question number 6. All SMA accounts are standard asset, NPA, substandard, doubtful asset. Standard asset. SMA means only overdue. They are all standard asset. No? People get a doubt immediately. Question number 6, answer is A. Question number 7. The cutoff limit for borrowal accounts to be reported to Central Repository of Information on Large Credits is 5 crores and above, 3 crores and above, 5 crores, above 5 crores, above 3 crores. Sir, there is a public domain in RBI website called Central Repository of Information on Large Credit. All exposure of rupees 5 crores and above to a party, banks every month to upload in the site. RBI credit report, the details of all borrowers for exposure of 5 crores and above to be sent to credit every month. The periodicity is last day of every month. That is the first report. Another credit report is also there. Another time also you have to upload the data. When you know that is a week, you take a week. Monday to Friday. The week they are telling previous Saturday to this Friday. Let us assume last week, last Saturday to this Friday in the account there are no overdues at all. But when you go to the next week, there will be an overdue. So what I told you, exposure of 5 crores and above, whether overdue, no overdue, whether NPA, no NPA, once in a month you have to send the data to CRILIC. Okay. Then exposure of 5 crores and above, weekly also data you have to send to CRILIC. What data you will send to CRILIC once in a week? In this week, which are all the accounts of 5 crores and above started showing overdue, SMA 0. Till last week, no overdue. In this week, some accounts started showing overdue. This is SMA 0. So you have to inform CRILIC. So these are all the accounts with exposure of 5 crores and above started showing overdue in this week. Similarly, some of the CRILIC accounts, 5 crores and above, would have come out of overdue. That data also you have to send to CRILIC once in a week. So CRILIC is exposure of 5 crores and above. Once in a month, whatever type of the account, whether overdue is there or not, whether it's an NPA account or not, you have to send the data to CRILIC. Then every week, so you have to find out that is any account which has 5 crores and above come out of completely from the overdue, or any account newly added in this week. So you have to inform to CRILIC. So let us see the presentation, you will understand it. Wherever it is required, I will show the presentation. Okay.
Full form of NCLT.
NC?
NCLT.
NCLT. Okay, I'll tell you. All accounts of borrowers with exposure of rupees 5 crores and above to be reported to Central Repository of Information on Large Credit monthly last day. Okay. Weekly report also to be submitted on Friday. Weekly report also to be submitted on Friday. What report you will submit? Exposure of 5 crores and above. Defaulting borrowers and borrowers out of default. So any borrower newly joining in SMA 0, that you have to report. Any borrower come out of the default, that also you have to report. So no overdue in the account, or 1 day overdue started in this account, that has to be reported Saturday to Friday, last Saturday to this Friday. At the end of the Friday, you have to upload in the CRILIC site. So this is the CRILIC data. Let us read the questions. The cutoff limit of borrowing accounts to be reported to Central Repository of Information on Large Credit is 5 crores and above. Question number 7, answer is A. Question number 8. What is the periodicity of submission of data to CRILIC? So answer is D. Monthly as well as weekly. A and B. So answer is D. For the purpose of internal follow-up, SMAE accounts include with exposure of rupees dash lakhs and above. Friends, you know what is SMA 0? Overdue 1 to 30 days. 31 days to 60 days, 60 days to 90 days, NPA. That is SMA 0, 1, 2, 3. But for internal follow-up, so we have classified the SMA accounts in Canara Bank like this. If the exposure in the account is less than 5 lakhs, if the exposure in the account is less than 5 lakhs, whether it is SMA 0 or SMA 1 or SMA 2, who has to follow? That is, those accounts are called the SMA account. So this is for our internal follow-up, sir. So if the exposure to a party is up to 5 lakhs, whichever SMA category it belongs, this is called, that is as SMA A. So don't get confused between SMA 0, 1, 2, 3. SMA 0, 1, 2, 3, that is same. Here, so for example, a party is having an exposure 5 crore. So in that exposure, so the overdue may be 2 days. Now who has to follow up? All exposures up to 5 crores, whether it is SMA 0 or SMA 1 or SMA 2, in our bank, we call it as SMA 1, sorry, SMA A. Similarly, if the exposure is above 5 lakhs up to 25 lakhs, whether it is SMA 0, SMA 1 or SMA 2, we call it as SMA B. This is for internal calculation purpose, internal follow-up. Finally, if the account is that is 500 lakhs and above exposure, we call it as SME. Now let us see the question. That is who, what, sorry, for the purpose of internal follow-up, SME accounts include accounts with the exposure of rupees 500 lakhs and above. Question number 9, answer is C. Question number 10. If an account with exposure of rupees 25 crores and above appears in SMA2 continuously in a quarter, a note to be placed to whom at the end of the quarter. Friends, you know, continuously the party in SMA2, he pays only the critical amount. In a quarter, if a party's name appears in SMA2 continuously in all the 3 months and the exposure is beyond certain level, you have to place an information report to concerned authority. That is a slide. So that is if that is question. Sorry. Follow up. This follow up of I told you know SMA 1A, SMA B, SMA C, etc. SMA A who has to follow and SMA B who has to follow, etc. is there. You leave it there. We'll come here. See. That is quarterly note on SMA2 accounts appear throughout the quarter. If the exposure is 25 crores and above, the note to be placed to executive director overseeing stressed asset management wing. If the exposure is 500 lakhs and less and below, if it is 500 lakhs and above below 25 crores, it has to be placed to ED overseeing credit administration and monitoring wing, CAM wing. Then above 100 lakhs, 500 lakhs, etc. These are all the people. If an account continuously appears in SMA2 in all the 3 months in a quarter, a quarterly note to be placed depending upon the exposure of the party to the authorities. So if they ask, you should be able to answer. Okay, sir. So for question number 10, answer is A. You will straight away take question number 10, answer is A. Then substandard assets are classified into how many categories? Substandard assets are classified into how many categories? 3. What are they?
Standard, doubtful, and data dormancy or loss of offense.
No, that is NPA. NPA is classified into 3 categories.
Yeah.
I am asking substandard is classified into how many categories? Substandard is one of the NPA. Okay, so before going to that question, let us see some in depth. 2 minutes if you take also, no issue, you will understand the concept. See, leave it. No, for the classification of NPA purpose, we classify the accounts as secured asset and unsecured asset. When you will classify secured asset, when you will classify account as unsecured asset, when it slips to NPA, to which category it will go? We are going to see now. See, what is unsecured asset or what is unsecured advance? This is purely for NPA classification. What is unsecured advance? That is, the secured asset or the secured advance is one where the value of the security is more than 10% of the loan amount at the time of sanctioning the loan. Friends, keep in mind, secured advance does not mean the security value should be 100%. You agree with me? Secured advance does not mean the security value should be 100% or more than 100%. When we say it is a secured advance, if the value of the security is 10%, is more than 10%. If the value of the security is more than 10% of the loan amount, then we call it as a secured asset or secured advance. Okay. So when you call an asset as an unsecured advance, if the value of the security at the time of sanctioning the loan, both are at the time of sanctioning the loan. At the time of sanctioning the loan, if the value of the security is 10% or less than 10% of the loan amount, you call it as an unsecured advance. Can you give an example of an unsecured advance in Canara Bank? At the time of sanctioning the loan, the value of the security is 10% or below 10%, even 0 of the loan amount is called the unsecured advance. Canara budget, personal loan, that there is no security at all, isn't it? So it is an unsecured advance. You can give unsecured, one more unsecured. For example, let us assume L&T has got permission to lay 4-lane road in that is Bangalore, from Bangalore to Mysore or Mysore to Kollur or whatever it is. So they got 10,000 crores project. So they approached the bank. What is the project cost, sir? 10,000 crores. So they approach banks, 2-3 banks come together. 2-3 banks agreed to sanction loan to the extent of 10,000 crores to that is to L&T. What the L&T is going to do with that loan amount? They are going to lay the road. They are going to lay the road. 4-lane road. Expansion and putting the road. Now, what security L&T will give you for 10,000 crores? Maybe some directors, personal security, etc. Is any collateral they can give? Isn't it? That is also an unsecured advance. 10,000 crores loan. Don't be under the impression that only for personal loan is an unsecured advance. When the value of the security is 10% or less than 10%, if you give a loan, those loans are called unsecured advance. Personal loan is an example. This type of infrastructure financing, a port is coming up. Authorities are given a permission to construct a port somewhere. For that, the people who got the successful bidder, they want loan. The airport in Chennai, new international airport is going to come. Lot of problem is going on. So some authorities got permission to lay the airport. They want loan. That is called the infrastructure financing. For infrastructure financing also, crores of rupees, no security. These things should go in your mind. When it comes to substandard asset, you will get a clarity. Okay, sir? I explained to you what is a secured advance. At the time of sanctioning the loan, the value of the security is more than 10% of the loan amount. It is called the secured advance. At the time of sanctioning the loan, if the value of the security is 10% or less than 10% of the loan, it is called the unsecured advance. Okay? It has gone in your mind. You also know what is unsecured advance, etc. Now let us see. Say, Canara budget. Whenever an unsecured advance, what is an unsecured advance? At the time of sanctioning the loan, the value of the security is 10% or below 10% of the loan amount. Whenever, as per the IRACP norm, whenever an unsecured advance slips to NPA, it will go to unsecured substandard. Because substandard is classified into 3 categories. Unsecured substandard, unsecured substandard infrastructure, then secured substandard. Depending upon the 3 categories, provision will be there. So what I am telling? So what is a secured advance? What is an unsecured advance? Whenever an unsecured advance slips to NPA, that is, at the time of sanctioning the loan, the value of the security is 10% or below, at the time of sanctioning the loan, yes. At the time of sanctioning the loan, the value of the security is 10% or below 10%. It is called unsecured advance. All those unsecured advances, when they slip to NPA, in the first 12 months, they have to be classified as substandard unsecured only. Are you clear? Whether security is there or not, Canara budget, no security. So what we think, if there is no security, straight away we got to classify loss asset, isn't it? No. Unsecured advance, because at the time of sanctioning the loan itself, you know there is no security in the account. In spite of that, you have taken a conscious decision and you are given the loan. When all those loans go to NPA, it will not go to doubtful or loss asset. It will go to unsecured substandard only. A Canara budget when it slips to NPA. A Canara pension when it slips to NPA. An infrastructure loan where the security value less than 10% at the time of sanctioning the loan, when it slips to NPA, or that will go to unsecured substandard infrastructure. So, infrastructure loans will go to unsecured substandard infrastructure. Other unsecured loans will go to unsecured substandard. Okay, then secured asset. What is secured asset? At the time of sanctioning the loan, the value of the security was more than 10% of the loan amount. Are you clear? Okay. When it slips to NPA, whether it has to go to secured substandard, or it will straight away go to loss asset, or it will straight away go to doubtful asset. It is not necessary that all secured advances, when it slips to NPA in the first year, it is not necessary they should go to secured substandard. Whereas unsecured advance, when it slips to NPA in the first year, they should necessarily go to unsecured substandard only. Now my next question is, when a secured advance slips to NPA, you have to find out what is the value of the security at the time of slipping to NPA. So, what is a secured advance? At the time of sanctioning the loan, the value of the security is more than 10%, isn't it? At the time of slipping to NPA, if the value of the security is less than 10%, then you have to classify the secured advance as loss asset. Are you clear? This is the way of classification. Then, on the other hand, what is the secured advance? At the time of sanctioning the loan, the value of the security may be 10% or below 10%. Let's assume, so some of the secured advance, when they slip to NPA, they may be classified as doubtful asset also. When they will classify it as a doubtful asset, when the value of the security is less than 10% at the time of slipping to NPA, straight away loss asset. Okay, so when the value of the security is more than 10% up to 50%, again I repeat, at the time of slipping a secured advance, if the value of the security is less than 10%, it will be classified as a loss asset. At the time of slipping to NPA, if the value of the security is more than 10% up to 50%, it will be classified as doubtful asset. Secured advance. And then one more classification. If the value of the security is more than 50% at the time of sanctioning the loan, it will be classified as secured substandard. So, substandard assets will be classified into three categories. What are they? Unsecured substandard, unsecured substandard infrastructure, then secured substandard. The unsecured advance and unsecured substandard. Secured advance, secured substandard. All unsecured advance has to go through unsecured substandard only. Secured advance, depending upon the availability of the security, it will go to secured substandard. When it will go to secured substandard, value of the security is more than 50% of the liability. It will be classified as secured substandard. If the value of the security is between 10 to 15% of the liability, it will be classified as doubtful first year. If the value of the security is less than 10%, it will be classified as loss asset. Are you clear? Because now we are going to see some practical questions also. You'll be able to understand that. Okay, sir. Now. Which one? Sir, with regard to substandard, whether CGTMSE covered or not, it will go to substandard only. Because if a doubtful asset, we will see whether CGTMSE covered portion can be taken into account or not. Next slides it is that. I will tell you. Okay, sir? Then. Good, sir. Good. We will see. Understand? So, substandard asset is classified into unsecured substandard, unsecured substandard infrastructure, secured substandard. When unsecured infrastructure, secured substandard, I told you. Which assets will go to which category? Once you classify account as substandard, whether unsecured, substandard, infrastructure, etc. Once you classify account as substandard, it will remain in this category for 12 months. It will remain in the category for 12 months. Next question is, what is the provision for substandard assets? What is the provision bank has to keep for substandard asset? If it is unsecured substandard asset, bank has to keep a provision of 25%. Say, if it is a substandard, unsecured substandard, which account will go to unsecured substandard? I told you, Canara budget. Okay, so if the unsecured substandard, if it is an unsecured substandard, the provision you have to keep 25% on the book liability. Okay, you should not take into account any security. So if it is an unsecured infrastructure, the provision you have to keep 20% on the book liability. If it is a secured substandard, the provision you have to keep is 50% on the book liability. When the max points comes, we will clarify it. Please note down, unsecured substandard is 3 categories. Substandard is 3 categories. Unsecured substandard, provision is 25% on the book liability. Unsecured substandard infrastructure, provision is 20% of the book liability. then secured substandard provision is 15% on the book liability. These numbers you should know. Then 12 months, it will be there in the substandard. After 12 months, whether it will go to doubtful or whether it will go to loss. 12 months, it is the doubtful asset. Okay, sir. After 12 months, whether the advance will straight away go to loss asset or it has to go to DA1. That depends upon the availability of the security. If there is any security in the account, after 12 months, it will go to DA1. If there is no security in the account, after 12 months, it will go to loss asset. For example, Canara budget. First year, you should not classify as loss asset. Canara budget, unsecured loan. First year, it is unsecured substandard only. 12 months, it is the unsecured substandard. Then at the end of the 12th month, there is no meaning in keeping the account as DA1. So after the 12 months, where the account will go, whether it will go to DA1 or loss asset, that depends upon the availability of the security. Okay, sir, these points we should go. Once an account goes to doubtful, for how many years it will remain in doubtful? That was the question was asked. DA1, 12 months in the substandard category. If you classify the account as doubtful first year, it will remain there for 12 months. Doubtful DA1 means doubtful first year. It will remain there for 12 months. Then the next category is DA more than 1 up to 3. That is DA2 and DA3. Friends, nowhere in the RBI guideline, they told DA2, DA3, DA4, etc. We ourselves have created all those numbers. What Reserve Bank of India is telling, doubtful asset is 3 category only. DA1. That is, the moment it shifts from substandard to doubtful, if you classify as DA1, for first 12 months, it will be the DA1. So next 24 months, it will be in DA more than 1 up to 3. DA1, 12 months, DA more than 1 up to 3, 24 months. DA2, 12 months, DA3, 12 months. Then DA more than 3. An account has been classified as DA more than 3. For how many months or how many years it will be in DA more than 3? Uncertain period. Till either the loan is closed or you sell the property, do something or write off from your book. Once an account classified as DA more than 3, for how many months it will remain in that category for an uncertain period. Either you recover or you close or write off, it will be in your books. So this question was asked last time. DA more than 3. It will remain in this category for how many months? People immediately thought DA4. 12 months they wrote. No. There is no concept called DA4. DA1, DA. So you keep it from the examination point of view. DA1, DA more than 1 up to 3 and DA more than 3. Depending upon which provision is there. So substandard provision I told you, DA provision also you know, I need not tell you. If it is DA1, the provision is deficient plus 25% of the secured portion. Okay, we'll see with an example, you will understand. If it is DA more than 1 up to 3, deficient plus 40% on the secured portion. If it is DA more than 3, 100% on the book liability. So I told you, in the case of a substandard asset, 25%, 20%, 15% on the book liability without seeing any security. Coming to doubtful asset 1, what is the provision? Deficient plus 25% on the unsecured portion. Deficient plus 40% on the unsecured portion. DA more than 3, 100% on the book liability, whether security is there or not. Okay, loss asset and fraud account, 100% that is secure provision. Now, let us go through the exam. Question number, okay, quickly we'll come to question number 16, sir. It is 450. So, question number 12, question number 11. Substandard assets are classified into how many categories? 3, very good. Question number 12. The substandard account will remain in this category for how many years? 12 months. 12 months. Question number 12, answer is A, or 1 year. Doubtful assets are classified into how many categories? 3 categories. Good. Question number 13, answer is A. A doubtful account more than 3 years, DA more than 3, will remain in this category for how many years? Uncertain period. This question was asked. Uncertain period. Question number 14, answer is D. 15, which is not relevant with regard to provision for substandard asset, which is not relevant, which is not correct, you have to tell. I already explained to you. A, secured substandard, 15%, correct. Unsecured substandard, infrastructure, 20%, correct. Unsecured substandard, others, 25%, correct. Provision for substandard asset will be calculated on the book liability less realizable value of the security. Only on the book liability, is it? So point number D is wrong. So point number D is wrong. Correct, sir. Then let us see the examples. We know the provision. How to calculate this type of questions? If they ask, you should not miss it. Read the question number 16. A term loan account should be term loan account. A term loan account has started showing overdue on February 22, 2022. The liability is 10 lakhs and the security value is 7 lakhs. If the overdues are not recovered, what is the asset classification of this account as on 31st March 2023? And what will be the provision on 31st March 2023? This question was asked. When the account started showing overdue? 22nd term loan, 22nd February 2022. When did it slip to NPA? From 22nd February 2022, on the 91st day, it will slip to NPA. I have given in the slide. So first overdue on 22nd February. So NPA is on 23rd May 2022. If you calculate 91 days, you will get 23rd May. Okay. NPA on the 91st day. So when whether it will be classified as secured substandard or doubtful or not, because secured assets, when they slip to NPA, you can classify as secured substandard, or you can classify as doubtful asset, or you can classify as loss asset, isn't it? Now this asset, you will classify as secured substandard or doubtful or loss. What is the liability? What is the liability? What is the security value? So more than 50%. Secured substandard. Okay. So when it slips to NPA on 23rd May. When it slips to NPA on 23rd May, it is classified as secured substandard. Okay. When it will become DA? When it will become DA? 12 months it has to be in secured substandard. So it will become DA1 on 23/5/2023. Am I correct? So 23/5/2022 secured substandard. Once you classify an account as substandard, it will remain in the category for 12 months. So on 23/5/2023, it will become DA1. So what is the question they asked? You tell me to see the question. A term loan account started showing signs of overdue on 22nd February. The liability is 10 lakhs and security value is 7 lakhs. If the overdues are not recovered, what is the asset classification of this account on 31st March 2023? What is the asset classification, sir? Now, what is the asset classification? They are asking you. Secured substandard. On 31st March 2023, it will be called as secured substandard. Are you agreeing with me? Okay. For secured substandard, what is the provision, sir? 15% on what, sir? Book liability. What is the provision required? 1.50 lakhs. Are you clear? Any doubt? This is a base question. Like the 2-3 questions we are having. This you should understand it. Then we'll bring the CGTMSC guarantee to the case. So, first you have to see on classify when the overdue started, when it will become NPA, whether ODOCC or term loan. On the date of becoming NPA, what is its category? Then from that day, how many months it will stay in this category? On which day they are asking what is category and provision. You see, from 23/5/2022 to 23/5/2023, it will remain in substandard, unsecured. Sorry, secured substandard. So the date they are asking is 31/3. This date coming between the 1 year. So you say on 31/3/2023, it will be secured substandard. Provision for secured substandard is 15% on the book liability, 1.50 lakhs. All of you, or there should not be any confusion. We'll go to the question number 17. If an account becomes substandard on 30th March 2013 and the book liability is 10 lakhs and the security value is 6 lakhs. Okay, sir. Then the account slips to NPA, sir, on 30th March 2013. So on 30th March 2013, whether it is a secured substandard or unsecured substandard. Secured. Why? Because the value is more than 50%. Okay. So on 30th March 2013, it is a secured substandard. Agreed. What is the asset classification for this account on 31st March 2018? And the provision required for this account on 31st March 2018. Very simple. Sir, on 30th March 2013, it is substandard secured. It will remain in this category for 12 months. So next year, it will go to DA1. Next year, it will be DA1 more than 1 up to 3. 2013-16 also, it is DA more than 1 up to 3. Then 33-2017, DA more than 3. I told you, once an account slips to NPA, DA more than 3, it will remain in that category, DA more than 3 only. Isn't it? So the question is, DA more than 3 will remain in this category for an uncertain period. What they are asking, as on 31st March 2018, that what is the category of this account? On 31st March 2018, it continues to be DA more than 3 only. So what is the provision for DA more than 3? 100% on the book liability. So what is the book liability? 10 lakhs. What is the provision? 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs. Very simple, sir. Very simple. You should understand when it slips to NPA, what is the category? So what is the provision you have to do? So DA more than 3. So provision is 100% on the book liability, irrespective of the security. Security 7 lakhs is there, but you should not take into account. Why, sir? Why? Security is there. 7 lakhs is there. No. You should keep only the entire book liability as the provision. Why? Security is there. Why, sir? RBI says, when it will become DA more than 3? SSA 12 months, DA 1 12 months, DA more than 1 3 24 months. Totally how many months over? 48 months. 48 months. 48 months you are not able to recover the loan. We are going to recover on 50th month. You keep provision and you do whatever you want. So you should have seen the movie Arnachalam, no? Andavan Solran, Arnachalam Seiran. So for us, Andavan is Reserve Bank of India. We are all Arnachalam. We should not do anything more than what Andavan says. Okay, keep that in mind. So for book liability, with the DA more than 3, irrespective of the value of the security, you have to keep provision for 100% on the book liability. Very good. Question number 19. A Canara budget loan became NPA on 30th November 2020. On that day, what is the classification, sir? 18, I missed. Okay. The book liability of NPA account is 6 lakhs. The collateral value is 3 lakhs and the prime security value is 2 lakhs. Guarantor's net worth is 10 lakhs. What is the provision you will keep for this doubtful account more than 1 year up to 3 years? So what is the provision for DA more than 1 up to 3, sir? Deficient plus 40% of the security. Okay. Now, to take the security value, you should not take into account the guarantor's net worth. You have to take prime security. You can take collateral security. Please do not take into account the guarantor's net worth. For that only this question. Say, TA more than 1 up to 3. Deficient plus 40%. Book liability is 6 lakhs. Prime security is 2 lakhs. Collateral is 3. So what is the value of the security? 2 plus 3, 5. So what is the deficient portion? 6 minus 5. Deficient is the unsecured portion. Deficient is 1 lakh. 6 lakhs is the liability. 5 lakhs is the security. 6 minus 5. Oh, I asked to leave for here. You want okay, so I'll say. I'm sorry. We are all immersed in this. Okay, we'll say 2 minutes. So 6 minus 5, 1 lakh is the deficient. So what is the provision for DA more than 1 up to 3? Deficient plus 40% on the security. Deficient is 1 lakh. What is the security value? 5 lakh. 40% on the 5 lakhs, 2 lakhs. So 2 plus 1, 3 lakhs is the provision. Don't take into account the guarantor's net worth. Any doubts, sir? Are you clear? The presentation I will post. So after completing the IRS, 4-5 questions are there. We will take up with the Sarfasi. I will explain Sarfasi presentation and the questions we will complete. Because questions will come from Sarfasi also. Important. Okay, sir. Good. Which question? 19. A Canara budget loan became NPA on 30th November 2020. So on 30th November 2020, what is asset classification, sir? Canara budget, unsecured loan. Unsecured substandard. Am I correct? Unsecured substandard. So it will remain in the unsecured substandard for how many days? 12 months. So on the end of the 12th month, where it will go? Loss asset. Because Canara budget, no security, isn't it? Loss asset. You see this, right? So Canara budget, when an unsecured advance slips to NPA, in the first year, it will be unsecured substandard. In the second year, it will be DA1 or loss, depending upon the availability of the security. For Canara budget loan, no security. So in the second year, it will be classified as loss asset. 30-10-2020, substandard asset unsecured. 30-11-2021, loss asset. Okay, sir, loss asset. Next question. Question number 20. An NPA account with balance of rupees 10 lakhs. Value of the security is 1.50 lakhs. The account is more than 3 years DA. That is DA more than 3. Provision for this account is, what is the answer, sir? What is the classification? DA more than 3. For DA more than 3, what is the provision? 100% on the book liability, irrespective of the value of the security, 10 lakhs. Question number 20, answer is 10 lakhs. B, answer is B. Question number 21, you see this question. So now you get a difference between question number 20 and 21. Same DA more than 3, some points are there. An NPA account with balance of rupees 10 lakhs secured by credit guarantee fund, guarantee cover of 75%. Value of the security is 1.50 lakh. Account is more than 3 years DA. DA more than 3. Provision for this account is, friends, whenever the account is guaranteed by the central government or guaranteed state government 20%. Okay. Whenever an account is guaranteed by a central government, to the extent of guarantee cover, you need not keep provision. For the balance amount only, you keep provision. See, generally, question number 20, you see, liability is 10 lakh, DA more than 3. There is no government guarantee. Security was there, you have ignored the security, so you have kept a provision for 10 lakhs. Now you see this question. So there is a government guarantee to the extent of 75%. There is a security to the extent of 1.50. So you will not take into account the security value, this is DA more than 3. Now you tell me, so what is the provision you have to keep for this account? How much? 2.5 is wrong. You remember when I was discussing CGTMSC, HO Circular 433/23 with you, CGTMSC coverage, when you say 85%, they will not give 80% on the liability. If any security is there, they will reduce the security, then only they will give that 85%, isn't it? So don't take straight away. So you have 75%, balance 2.50 lakhs, you have to keep provision. That is why I touched that point there. You see the presentation. So book liability is 10 lakh, security value is 1.50, balance is 8.50. Guarantee is 75% on the 8.5, not on 10 lakhs. Okay, so 75% on 8.5 is 6.375. So normally DA more than 3 means 100% on the book liability. Now you have a CGTMSE cover. How much you are having? 6.375. Okay, 10 lakhs minus 6.375, balance 3.625. If we keep provision, that is sufficient. Are you clear, sir? Any doubt you are having? So CGTMSE covered account, to the extent of CGTMSE, you need not keep any provision. DA more than 3, 100% on the liability. Here, so there is a CGTMSE cover is there. How much? 75. They will not give 75 on the 10 lakhs if there is a security. Security is 1.50. So balance is 8.50. So CGTMSE cover is 75% on the 8.50. That is 6.375. So even though it is TA more than 3, since you have a central government guarantee, to the text and provision need not be kept. The required provision is only 3.625. Where all these things are available in Canara Bank? I have taken from your bank only. In your March balance sheet circular, consolidated circular bank will issue every quarter and for the financial year. These examples are there. I have not created out of the sky. Okay, good. Next, question number 22. You see, so one step of the other step we are going. So to bring you more clarity. Question number 22. An NP account with balance of 10 lakhs secured by CGF guarantee cover 76. Huh? 22nd point, very good. Question number 22. A pre-shipment export credit DA more than 1 up to 3. Debit balance 4 lakhs. Okay, liabilities 4 lakhs. DA more than 1 up to 3. The security value is 1.50 and ECGC cover is 50%. What provision required for this account? This question was asked last time. For 4 to 5. For whom? Executives. You are more than an executive. Now you tell me the answer now. Say the total security value. What is the security value available in this account? Number 22. Sorry, previous slide I should go. Okay. So liability is 4 lakhs. Security is 1.50. So what is the balance? 2.50. So CGTMSE cover, ECGC cover is available 50% on 2.50. Okay. So what is the ECGC cover now? 1.25. So what is the original security value you are having? 1.5. What is the ECGC cover you are having? 1.25. Isn't it? So what is the deficit? What is the deficit? Sir, let us assume there is no CGTMSE cover. There is no ECGC cover, let us assume. Liability is 4 lakhs. Security value is 1.50. What is the deficit, sir? 4 minus 1.5. So what is the provision? So deficit plus 40% on the book liability, isn't it? Now you have one more security also. The security is the CGTMSE cover or ECGC cover. So you are having a security 1.50. Now you get another security 1.25. So the unsecured portion is 1.50 plus 1.25 is the security value. So from 10 lakhs, that is a total security value. Already 1.5 is there. The ECGC covered portion is 1.25. The deficit is only 2. That is 4 minus 2.75. So what is deficit? So liability minus security value. Here two security values are there. One already security is given. Another security is you are working out, which is the ECGC guarantee portion. To find out the deficit, you have to add both and find out the deficit. So deficit is 4 minus 2.75. So what is the deficit, sir? 1.25, no, deficit 1.25. 1.25, I have given here. What is the provision for DA more than 1 up to 3? Deficit plus 40% on the security. Here now you see next line. What is the deficit? 1.25, already you know. So 40% on the security, you have to keep, no. You need not keep provision for the DACGC cover. See, to calculate the deficit, you have to take both the security. To find out the provision, you need not take ECGC security portion. You see what is the advantage of having CGTMSC cover or ECGC cover instead of taking a security. We always think, no, taking security is good for the bank. No. So taking the cover is very good. So for deficient, you are reducing the security. For provision, you are not keeping provision on the security. Okay, so DA more than 3 up to more than 1 up to 3, deficient plus 40%, provision need not be kept on ECGC. So 40% on 1.50, 40% on not on 2.75. So provision is deficient plus 40% on 1.50. Answer is 1.85 lakhs. Any doubts, sir? Good. Question number 23. You should not have any doubt. Question number 23. So question number 22, answer is D. Question number 22, answer is D. Question number 23. Account DA1. So provision is deficient plus 25% of the book liability. Okay. DA1. Liability is 10 lakhs. Prime security is 2 lakhs. Collateral 3 lakhs. Guarantors net worth 20 lakhs. Forget about the guarantors net worth. So prime security you have, collateral security you have. 2 security you have to take. Then you have to find out any CGTMSC cover is there. That security also you have to take. Okay. So prime security, collateral security, CGTMSC cover is there. So CGTMSC will give 50% on what? After the security is over. Now you see the slide. Liability is 10 lakhs. Security is 5 lakhs. Out security is 5, 2 plus 3. Prime security, collateral security. So the unsecured portion is 5 lakhs. So the deficient in the account is 5 lakhs. Sorry, not deficient. So security portion is 2 plus 3, 5. CGTMSC will give you 50% on 5 lakhs. They will not give 50% on the 10 lakhs. So 50% on the 5 lakhs works out how much, sir? 2.5. Now you tell me what is the total security value? Prime security, collateral security, CGTMSC security. 3 securities are there. Prime security is 2, collateral security is 3, CGTMSC security is 2.50. So now you find out the deficient. So total security value is prime security plus collateral 5, CGTMSC security is 2.50. So total security value is 7.5. So what is the deficient? Liability minus security. So what is the liability? 10 lakhs. What is the security? 7.50. Like it is only 2.50 is the deficient. So provision is deficient plus 25% on the security. For finding out the deficient, you need not include the CGTMSC guarantee. So 25% on 5 lakhs, 25% not on 7.50 lakhs. So now you are calculated. So provision need not be kept on CGTMSC. So 25% on 5 lakhs is 1.25. Provision is 2.50 deficient plus 1.25, 3.75 lakhs. Any doubts, sir? If any questions may come, question may not come. I do not know. Sometimes they ask, sometimes they don't ask. This is all very important. Account started showing overdue, then it will become NPA. So on the date of becoming NPA, whether it is substandard, secured substandard, unsecured, depending upon the value of the security. Then once it becomes NPA, how many years it will remain in substandard? Then it will go to DA. When it is substandard, what is the provisioning? So when it goes to DA, what is the provisioning? So with the government security, without government security. These are all the probable questions you will talk. So IRACP, income recognition, asset classification, and provisioning. This is the norm. Okay, quickly we'll finish off other questions. Okay, question number 23, answer is A. 24. In an OCC account, if stock statement is not submitted for more than 3 months from the due date, and hence the drawing power calculated from the stock statement is older than 3 months, it is called dash OD OCC account. Friends, so I will tell you. See, I told you when an OD OCC account will slip to NPA, any irregularity on for 90 days. On the 90th day, it will slip to NPA. Financial irregularity. Coming to non-financial irregularity, like stock statement not submitted, a renewal not taken place. In those cases, the OD/OCC account will slip to NPA on 180th day. So if limit is liability is more than the limit, 90th day. If there are no credits on the 90th day, if credits are there, credits are not sufficient to cover the interest debited 90th day. If limit not renewed, if stock statement last updated, it is not there. In both the cases, on the 180th day, the account will shift to NPA. You got my point? For the non-financial parameters, it will slip on the 180th day. Okay. So, in an ODOCC account, for 3 months stock statement is not submitted. At the end of the 3rd month, the account will not go to NPA. We call that, we will not call it out of order means NPA. Out of order means NPA. So we won't call it as an out of order account. We will call it as an irregular account. So it is an irregular account. Answer for the question is irregular account. If this irregularity continues for another 3 months, totally 8 months, 6 months comes, no? If this irregularity for 3 months, after 3 months is over, it is called an irregular account. If this irregularity continues for another 3 months, it will become NPA. You got my point? This is with regard to non-submission of stock statement. Okay. So the answer for the question is irregular. Question number 24, answer is irregular. In an OCC account, question number 25, the DP was arrived based on the stock statement on 31st March 2019. If further stock statements are not submitted for how many months, the account will slip to NPA, 6 months. Okay, 180th day. So question number 25, answer is B. Question number 26. In an OCC account, limit expired on 1st November 2020. If the limit is not renewed for how many days, the account will slip to NPA, 180 days, 180 days, or 6 months, 180 days. Question number 28. What is the accelerated provision for DA1? That also you should know. See, what do you mean by accelerated provision? See, you know what is the provision for substandard, secured, unsecured substandard, infrastructure, DA1, DA more than 1 up to 3, DA more than 3. You know what is the provision. Suppose you have to declare an account that is assumed as DA1, but you are not declared as DA1. If RBI inspectors have found out, they tell you from 2 years back itself, it is DA1. But you have kept it either as standard asset or you have kept it as substandard asset. So you have to, what is the normal provision for DA1? Deficient plus 25%. Now they will say from 2 years back onwards, for this account, you keep provision deficient plus 40%. That is called accelerated provision. You got my point? So what is accelerated provision? You should not, when you have to, that is, report an account as NPA, you have to report. If you conceal it, no, in the RBI inspection, they find out, they will ask you to keep provision from the back date at a higher rate. And not only that, that has to be reported in the balance sheet, that has to be uploaded in the public domain. It will come in the newspaper. Canara Bank has not clearly classified as the account as NPA. Because of that, RBI auditors has asked the bank to keep more provision. It is a, what is that? It is a reputational risk for the bank. If when a reputational risk is given to the bank, more provision to be kept on the total assets for next year. Please be careful. Take care of it. You're all the bankers. You're all the branch in charges. Now you understand the logics. Okay, now let us see. See, so if an account has to be reported as secured substandard, up to 6 months, if you are not reporting as secured, so 15% is the provision. For secured substandard, 15% is the provision. Up to 6 months, you have concealed it, no problem. Provision is only, accelerated provision is also 15%. Beyond 6 months, if you have concealed it, if you are not reported as secured substandard, normally for secured substandard, you have to keep up to 1 year 15% only, but here you have to keep 25%. So secured substandard, if it is not reported as secured substandard beyond 6 months, you have to keep 25% provision instead of 15% provision. That is called accelerated. For how many months you have to keep? From the date of it. Not for the 6 months. From the date 1, you have to keep 25%. Similarly, substandard unsecured other than infrastructure, you have to keep normally 25. Up to 6 months, you are not done it, no problem. For more than 6 months, you are not released, you have to keep 40% provision. That is an accelerated provision. Similarly, substandard unsecured, 20 you have to keep, normally you have to keep 20. Now you have to keep up to 6 months, 25. So, unsecured substandard, if you are not shown NPA for 6 months, it has to be classified 25% provision you have to give. More than 6 months, 40% provision you have to keep. This is called accelerated provision. Similarly, for DA1, if you are not shown as a DA1, so you are shown it as substandard, then deficient plus 25% is a normal provisioning. Accelerated provisioning is deficient plus 40%. So DA more than 1 up to 3, deficient plus 40, but you have to keep 100%. DA more than 3, already you have kept 100%. No other additional accelerated provision. Maybe next year, or we will tell 150%. We do not. Okay, now you tell me the answer, sir. Question number 28. What is the accelerated provision for DA1? Deficient plus 40% of the secured portion. 40% of the secured portion. Question number 29. Under OTS, the compromise amount is calculated after taking into dash cost. This question they ask. See, what is OTS, sir? The borrower has to give you 2 crores. You are asking the borrower to give 1.5 crores and writing of the 50 lakhs. Okay, so you are compromising 50 lakhs. Isn't it? So a cost is involved for you for writing of the 50 lakhs. Okay, so let us assume you are not going for compromise. The entire 2 crores to be NPA with you. What is the cost for you? Provisioning cost is there. Follow-up cost is there, isn't it? So bank will wait. What is the benefit of writing off the 50 lakh? What is the cost for keeping the 2 crores in NPA? When the benefit is more than the cost, they will come out with the OTS policy. So that when the benefit is more as compared to the cost, that is called opportunity cost. So based on the opportunity cost, the OTS amount is decided. So the opportunity cost is an economic term. Opportunity cost. Answer is opportunity cost. 27 missed it out. Okay. Substandard, doubtful, and loss assets are called SMA, SWL, red flagged accounts, none of these. None of these. They are all called the NPA. They are all called NPA, no? None of these. Question number 28. Okay. 29. Okay. 30. In the case of advances given for short duration crops, if interest and installments remains overdue for 2 crop season, the account will be classified as NPA. Short duration crop for IRAC purposes, harvest is within 12 months. So question number 30, answer is A. Question number, what do you mean by short duration crop? After sowing, if the harvest is done within 12 months, it is called a short duration crop. That question they ask. So question number 30, answer is A. Question number 31. Though the liability continues to be more than the limit sanctioned, even beyond, so long as there is no erosion in margin, loan sanctioned against which of the following security need not be classified as NPA in the normal course. I told you, if the limit continues to be more than, if the liability continues to be more than the limit for 90 days, it is an out of order ODOCC account. On the 90th day, it will become NPA, isn't it? But in these cases, even though the liability is more than the limit, if the margin is not eroded, let us assume 1 crore is the deposit. So let us assume your margin is 10%. So 90 lakhs you have sanctioned the limit. But the borrower says, I don't want 90 lakhs, give me 50 lakhs. The borrower has availed the 50 lakhs. How much he can avail? 90 lakhs. But now what is the margin he is giving? 50%. So after 6-7 months, he has not paid the interest. So the liability, let us assume, becomes 55 lakhs. So what is the limit you are given? 50. So for more than 3 months, the liability is 55 lakhs. It will not be classified as NPA. What I told you, if the liability continues to be more than the limit for 90 days, at the end of the 90th day, the account will be classified as NPA. In this category, as long as the margin is eroded, so only when the liability becomes more than 90 lakhs, these accounts will become NPA. You got my point? So because you can give margin up to 10, but he has survived only 90. So 10 lakh 50 only he has survived. As long as the margin has not eroded, even though the liability is more than the limit, these accounts will continue to be classified as standard asset only. All loans against your NSC, LIC policy, bank deposit, government securities, all. Yeah, all of these. Question number 31, answer is yeah. 32. In a central government guaranteed account, principal and interest become overdue for more than 90 days. But central government has not yet repudiates the guarantee. This account has to be classified as NPA and all IRAC norms are applicable. Need not be classified NPA, but income from this account should not be recognized. It should be treated as performing asset. None of this. I'll give the explanation, you will understand. So we have central government guaranteed accounts. So you are taken up with central government, you are saying that is this guarantee, I want to invoke, give me the money. Central government has not yet given the money, or the government has not yet told, I will not give you the money. They have not yet repudiated the claim. So by the time 90 days is over, whether those accounts to be classified as NPA or not. So whenever the central government guarantee, until otherwise the central government repudiate your claim. Repudiate means refuses your claim. Even though 90 days is over, these accounts need not be classified as NPA and provision need not be kept. But one thing you should do, you should not recognize income from this account for interest collected purposes. IRACP. Income recognition, asset classification, isn't it? So if you classify as NPA, you have to keep provision. So in the case of central government guaranteed accounts, as long as the central government has not repudiated the claim, these accounts need not be classified as NPA, but income from these accounts should not be recognized if principal and interest is not repaid beyond 90 days. Okay, sir? The answer for the question is B. B. So, however, if it is state government, no, this is not applicable. If the account is guaranteed by the state government, beyond 90 days, it will be classified as NPA. So, central government guaranteed only, this permission is available. 33. Under consortium, banks to classify the accounts as per IRAC norm based on the lead bank classification of the bank which has the highest share, record of recovery in respective banks, none of these. So let's assume there are 2-3 banks given a loan to a borrower. In your bank, the account is pakka, no overdue. In other bank, there is an overdue to the extent of 20 days. In another bank, overdue is more than 90 days. Whether all the banks have to classify as NPA, because in one bank it is more than 90 days, no. As far as the consortium advance is concerned, classification of the account as NPA, SMA 0, SMA 1, etc., that depends upon the recovery in your bank. Record of in your bank, the recovery is pakka, no overdue, it is a standard asset, not SMA 0. In the other bank, 20 days overdue, it is SMA 0. In the other bank, more than 90 days overdue, NPA. It is based on the record of recovery. So question number 33, answer is C. Okay, sir. So we will go to Sarfasi, sir, please. Sarfasi. Okay, quickly I'll show the PowerPoint presentation. Then these questions you can answer, no problem. Okay, sir, Sarfasi. Okay, sir. Please there, no? Page number 7. Page number 7. Whether you are able to complete the questions or not, I will make the presentation. I will explain the presentation. Another 20-25 minutes I am having. So questions you can answer, no problem. The method, what you after going back, what you are supposed to know is question paper is given to you. Presentation also will be made known to you. You would have heard from my class or some other classes also. You would have read from the books also. Now keep all those things recollected. Keep maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes time. Try to answer all these questions. So then check up with the answer which I am posting to you. So that is a method of finding out to what level you understood the concept. So if you hear maximum classes you hear, if possible in the next 2 weeks, try to have a group study with a like-minded person. Because he or she will tell you what you do not know, you can tell him what you know. If you make a group study of a like-minded person in a common place, so securing more marks, more knowledge will be there. So I used to do when I was an officer or manager in the bank. Okay, sir, good. So that is that say SARFAESI. What is the benefit of SARFAESI? The second point you see, SARFAESI empowers the banks to enforce the securities and realize their dues without the intervention of the court. So without the intervention of the court, you can enforce the security, sell the security, whatever you want, then clear the liability. You need not go to court. If there is a balance left over, you can go to court. Okay, next. Which are all the accounts not covered under SARFAESI? If the liability in the account, is less than 1 lakh, so liability should be 1 lakh and above. If the liability is 1 lakh and above only, you can bring the account under SARFAESI. If it is less than 1 lakh, you cannot bring under SARFAESI. Second point, even though the liability is 1 lakh and above. Second point, first I told you the liability should be 1 lakh and above. Second point, if the liability is 1 lakh and above also, in some cases, you cannot bring under SARFAESI, even though the accounts are eligible. When? If the borrower has already paid 80% of the due, so you are fixed on EMI, etc., etc. Today, this much money the borrower has to pay. Already, he has paid 80% of the demand from you. If he has already paid, then the liability is more than 1 lakh. Those accounts also cannot be brought under SARFAESI. Okay, then SARFAESI non-registered accounts cannot be brought under SARFAESI. So you know the charge bank is getting lien, pledge, hypothecation, that is mortgage. If the loan is given under lien, you cannot bring under SARFAESI. Similarly, if the loan is given under pledge, you cannot bring under SARFAESI. Then loan is given by creating a security in against any aircraft, you cannot bring under SARFAESI. Similarly, you are giving a loan to a vessel. Vessel means ship, boats, etc. You go and see port blind. Many loans are there. Okay. So if a loan is given against ships, boats, etc., a security is created, you cannot bring under SARFAESI. So friends, these are all the SARFAESI exempted accounts. So agricultural land, whether agricultural land can be brought under SARFAESI. Say agricultural land alone, if it is there, you cannot bring under SARFAESI. If agricultural land with structure, a coffee plantation or tea plantation or a farmhouse or a poultry shed, if it is there, you can bring under SARFAESI. Clean farming land, you cannot bring under SARFAESI. Okay, these are all the exempted category under SARFAESI, and other cases you can go under SARFAESI. So the first doubt you will give 1 lakh and above or less than 1 lakh. 1 lakh and above liability only, you can go under SARFAESI. Less than 1 lakh, you cannot go. Even if it is 1 lakh and above, 80% of the demands he has already paid, you cannot go under SARFAESI. Okay, SARFAESI registration, accounts, etc. So we will go back, we'll come back. Now, what are all the sections under which notices are issued to the party that they are asking frequently? Say, demand notice for both movable and immovable has to be issued under section 13(2) of the SARFAESI Act. So what is a demand notice? Who issues the demand notice? The authorized officer issues the demand notice. Who is the authorized officer in Canara Bank? Scale 4 and above. Okay, they will issue the demand notice. Please, friends, understand, in SARFAESI, the notices should not be issued by the panel advocates. The notices or replies should not be done by the panel advocates. It is to be issued or replied only by the authorized officer. So the demand notice. So he demands the money and issues the notice under section 13(2) of the SARFAESI Act. After issuing the demand notice, the bank, the secured creditor, has to wait for 60 days. He has to wait for 60 days. The reply will come or the money will come. But nowadays nothing will come. That is different. So the bank has to wait for 60 days. In between the 60 days, if the borrower or the guarantor or the mortgager gives you some reply, sir, some problem in my house, so I will repay the loan after 2 months, please give me time. Anything or give the cost sheet of the account, you are not charged the interest correctly. So please give me a copy of the sanction. Anything. Anybody will ask you, borrower can ask, guarantor can ask, mortgager will ask. When the borrower and the mortgager will be different, sir, in a loan, third party property. When you take a third party property, the borrower and the mortgager will be different. For all the three people, you have to issue notice. If the mortgager and the borrower are different, you have to issue notice to the borrower, then guarantor, to the mortgager also. Without the mortgager's knowledge, you should not sell the property. Okay, you issue a notice, demand notice under section 13 to wait for 60 days. Do not proceed anything. So within the 60 days, if the borrower asks you something, you have to reply within 15 days. These are all the questions. Demand notice is issued under which section? Section 13(2). What is the period of the demand notice? So 60 days. Within the 60 days, if the borrower raises some objection or asks something, within how many days the authorized officer to give a reply? Within 15 days. Or then whether a legal panel advocate can give a reply? No, only the authorized officer has to give a reply. Next point. When an account slips to NPA, when you have to issue demand notice, within how many days you have to issue demand notice? That question was asked last time. So when an account slips to NPA, if the account is eligible for SARFAESI, within 3 days the demand notice to be issued within 3 days, not more than 3 days. There is no need to get permission from the next tier authority for issuing the demand notice. Again, I repeat, once an account slips to NPA, as per the recovery policy of Canara Bank, the recovery policy is 223/2023, 223/23. As per the recovery policy of the bank, once an account slips to NPA, if it is eligible for SARFAESI, the demand notice under section 13(2) to be issued by the authorized officer within 3 days of the account slipping to NPA. Okay, good. Now next point. 60 days. So after issuing the demand notice, so 60 days there is no reply from the borrower. So how to issue the demand notice? Physical notice can be sent by registered post, physical notice can be sent by courier, or physical notice can be sent by speed post and email, or you can also send by that is the fax or something like that. So whenever you send, so suppose if you are sending by email and that is SMS or fax or something like that, for all the cases, there should be acknowledgement from the concerned. So somebody should not have acknowledged the acknowledgement letter. If somebody, so the moment the acknowledgement card comes back to you, you have to verify with the signature lodged with you. If the signature does not tally, you have to issue the demand notice in 2 leading newspapers, of which one is the vernacular language. You got my point, sir? I will show it to you. See, a notice to be sent by hand delivery, registered acknowledgement, speed post, fax, mail, courier. If sent by fax, email, confirmatory copy by registered post also should be sent. You should have the acknowledgement from the borrower or guarantor or the mortgager. Acknowledgement to be preserved. If borrower, guarantor, mortgager does not acknowledge, published in 2 leading newspapers, out of which one should be local newspaper. So previous slide we will go. I'll come back to this question. Under SARFAESI, so you issue the demand notice and everything is paka. 60 days you waited, nothing. You can take possession. You have to go and paste the possession notice and you have to take possession after 60 days only. After taking possession of the property, what you can do? It is not necessary after taking possession, you have to sell the property. So as an authorized officer, secured creditor, let us assume the business is doing very well. He is a non-cooperative borrower. He is a willful defaulter. Business is running beautifully. It is not necessary you have to wind off the business, sell all the assets. So if possible, you appoint a manager on behalf of you. He will continue to run the business. and whatever money due to the borrower, he will receive and the account can be closed. Subsequently, hand over the business after adjusting your cost to the borrower. So take possession. Appoint any person to manage the asset. Demand the amount due to the borrower from the person who has to give money. So don't be under the impression surfacing means only to sell the property. If nothing is there, no activity is done, you can go for selling the property. Okay, sir. Good. Next. So in the case of, let's assume against the same property, 2-3 banks have given the loan, either under consortium or under multiple arrangement. I told you in one bank it is NPA, in one bank it is a standard asset. The bank in which it becomes NPA, whether it can issue demand notice or it has to get permission from the lead bank. So in a bank, if it becomes NPA under a consortium or multiple banking arrangement, MBA, so the bank in which it becomes NPA can issue demand notice without getting a consent from anybody. On the other hand, before issuing the possession notice, so banks comprising 60% of the liability should give the consent to issue the possession notice. So these questions they are asking. So surpassing notice, when you have to issue demand notice under consortium or multiple banking, so you need not get anybody's permission. So the bank in which it become NPA can issue demand notice. However, to issue a possession notice, so banks comprising 60% of the amount of liability should give permission for you. Suppose if 100 lakhs is the liability, 2-3 banks is having the liability, you find out 60% above how many banks totally added together is having, get a permission from them and issue the possession notice. If they are not giving, some other method you have to go, you should not issue the possession notice. Similarly, when the account becomes NPA, within 3 days, you have to issue the demand notice. So permission for you need not get from anybody. Permission to issue possession notice only to be obtained from the appropriate authority. Okay, sir. Next we will go. Then. So the moment you issue the demand notice or possession notice, you have to issue a caveat application in the DRT code. What is caveat application? You will inform the DRT. So I have taken possession. I have issued the demand notice on the borrower so and so within our jurisdiction. He will come to you asking you to give a stay on the surface action. So without calling the bank and asking it to explain his position, do not give stay. That is called the caveat application. The moment you apply the demand notice or sale notice or whatever notice, you have to apply file a caveat application in the DRT code. All cases, irrespective of the liability, will be done only by the DRT code. You know, that is DRT code in the normal cases, 20 lakhs and above liability, isn't it? Surfacing cases, even if the liability is 1 lakh and above, you have to go or the borrower has to go only to the DRT code. They cannot approach the civil code. Okay, good. Now file caveat application. If any complaints received, reply within 15 days of the demand notice. After 60 days, possession can be taken by the authorized officer. The possession can be actual possession or symbolic possession. So actual possession, if the borrower hands over the key, you take the actual possession. If the borrower has not given you the key, you should not forcibly break the door and you should not take physical possession. If you want physical possession, you have to approach the district magistrate. So get his permission, then only you have to take the physical possession if the borrower is not giving you physical possession. We quickly will go through. Issue possession notice to the borrower, guarantor and mortgagor. Send it by registered appointment due. Affix on the property. Actual or symbolic possession. Services of surface agents can be utilized for surface action in respect of doubtful or lost assets with liability exceeding 50 lakhs. Services of resolution agents can be utilized for taking possession. There are two types of agents in the bank: recovery agents and resolution agents. Resolution agents will help you for doubtful and lost assets 50 lakhs and above. So for less than 50 lakhs, your recovery agents will assist you. So if the liability is 50 lakhs and above, give the work to the resolution agent. If the liability is less than 50 lakhs, give the work to surface agents. Okay, all in the recovery policy. Recovery agents policy is the In the presentation, it is there. Questions are also there. Please go through the presentation, try to answer the question. Next point is, borrower can approach DRT code without depositing any amount within 45 days of the possession notice. So, when you issue the demand notice, the borrower cannot go to the DRT code. When you issue the demand, he has to keep quiet. So, he has to wait for possession. So, when you issue the possession notice, he can approach DRT. No, sir, Canara Bank is going to take my property into possession. Please do not allow it. Ask for a stay. So within how many days he has to go for the DRT code after the possession notice is issued? Within 45 days. Whether he has to, Canara Bank has demanded 1 crore from him. When you go to DRT, asking DRT not to give permission for possession, he has to do within 45 days. Whether any amount he has to deposit. Canara Bank has demanded 1 crore. He need not deposit any money. He will go and tell DRT, Canara Bank has taken possession of my property. Please give stay order against this. So you have already applied a caveat application, isn't it? The DRT will write a letter to you. So and so has come to me against the possession. Whether I can give a stay order. You asked me to give a caveat application. Please come and explain to me why you are going to take possession. If you have not filed the caveat application, DRT will hear one-sided and he will permission for stay. Once DRT gives the stay, vacating the stay is impossible. Impossible. So you have to take care of, suppose 15 days. Within 15 days, you have to give the reply. If you are not giving the reply within 15 days, he will go to DRT. Without hearing from you, DRT will give a stay order. Only when you follow as per the timeline, DRT will not give you the stay order without consulting you. If you are not doing things beyond the days given in the SARFAESI Act, DRT will give the stay order without consulting you. Keep that in mind. That is why I told 15 days. So he goes to the DRT, within 45 days he has to go, he need not deposit any amount. When he will go to DRT, after you issue the possession notice only, not when you issue the possession demand notice. Okay, so when he has to go? Within 45 days. As per which section of the SARFAESI Act? Section 17. So 7 sections are important, quantum of loan is important, whom, where they have to go, everything is important. So you need not deposit any amount. So suppose within 60 days, the DRT has to dispose of the case. DRT will take another 4 months also. Suppose the DRT says, so Canara Bank is correct. So possession notice issued by Canara Bank is correct. The borrower is not satisfied. He can approach an appellant authority, Debt Recovery Appellant Authority, DRAT. He will go to DRAT. Within how many days he has to go to DRAT? Within 30 days of the order of the DRT. What the DRT says, Canara Bank is correct. You have to give 1 crore to Canara Bank. I am not accepting your appeal. So this fellow is not satisfied. He will go to DRAT. Within how many days? There he has to go within 45 days of your possession notice. Here he will go to DRAT within 30 days of the DRT order. There he need not deposit any money. Here he has to deposit what the order has given by the DRT. DRT told 1 crore. He has to deposit 50 crores. A DD has to be taken in favor of Canara Bank and it has to be given DRAT. He goes and tells to the DRAT, sir, I don't have 50 lakhs. DRAT will say, at least deposit 25 lakhs. So without taking 25% of the amount demanded, DRAT will not entertain the case. Okay, these are all the questions will come there. See, DRAT can reduce it to 25%. So if DRT says 1 crore is the order, if he failed in the court, if he wants to go to appeal for DRAT, he has to take a demand draft for 50 lakhs. If we do not have the money, he has to take at least 25 lakhs favoring Canara Bank. Okay, good. Now, next question. If the borrower resists actual possession you want to take, seek the assistance of the district magistrate or chief metropolitan magistrate who will get actual possession within 30 days. This is as per which section they are asking, section 14. Friends, that is why I mentioned the section there. The sections are important, the number of days are important. So, if the borrower resists possession, take the assistance of the district magistrate or that is chief metropolitan magistrate who will give you a vacant possession within 30 days. Okay, then this is under section 14 of the SARFAESI Act. Then publish in 2 leading newspapers the possession notice. Once you issue the possession notice, once you paste the possession notice, you have to publish the possession notice in 2 leading newspapers within 7 days of taking possession. Keep that in mind. So the possession notice to be published in the newspaper. When you will publish the new demand notice in the newspaper, only when there is no acknowledgement from the people. Here, possession notice, whether you get the acknowledgement or not, you have to publish in the newspaper within 7 days of taking possession in 2 leading newspapers, out of which one is the vernacular language. Okay, so that's what I have put over there. Then, so I told you valuation to be obtained from SARFAESI approved valuer. Who is a SARFAESI approved valuer? Who is a panel valuer? I already told you. So when you have to take 2 valuation, if the value of the original property is 5 crores and above, you have to take 2 valuation from 2 different SARFAESI approved valuers. In respect of immovable properties of see, so I told you, you have to get valuation from 2 SARFAESI approved valuer if the original value of the property is 5 crores and above. In another case also, you have to take 2 valuation. When you say, in respect of immovable properties of value of more than 2 crore, and that is the reduction now. If at the time of sanctioning the loans, the value of the property was 2 crores and above. But now when the account becomes NPA, the reduction in the value is more than 30%. In that case also, see why at the time of sanctioning the loan, the value is mentioned as 2 crores and above, but the value has become less than 30% now. Reduction is 30% and above. Then also, you have to take 2 valuation and the authorized officer has to analyze why there is a reduction in. So, when you will take 2 valuation, original value of the property is 5 crores and above, then reduction in the value, when now it is more than 30% of the original value, if the original value of the property is 2 crores and above. In the last year circular, it was 1 crore and above. Okay, why you have given last year and this year? In the exam, if they ask you, valuation to be taken from panel valuer, increase from dash crores to dash crore. To fill up the blanks have come, you have to write 1 crore to 2 crores. Okay, sir, good. Then quickly we'll finish. In all the cases, valuation which is obtained after the account becomes NPA is more than 1 year old, fresh valuation to be taken. So the valuation should not be more than 1 year old. Okay, that point also you should take. Then fixing the reserve price where there is no variation, realizable value of the security between new and immediate previous valuation is furnished below. So we'll go there, fixing the reserve price. Okay, it is not there. Oh, sorry, I'm going backwards. This is very important. There is a change. So, who has to fix the reserve price? And if the sale is not successful, who can reduce the reserve price? There are 2 things. I told you, you have to take a valuation. So, if the realizable value of the security is more than the guideline value, you see the valuation report, what the valuer has given, SARFAESI approved valuer, what is the market value? Or realizable value of the property. If you sell the property, this is the realizable value. He will also give that what is the guideline value. So GLR. If the realizable value is more than the GLR, who can fix that is the reserve price and how much they can fix? That is the slide is here. You see. So the credit sanctioned by branch. If the loan is sanctioned by the branch, the first fixation of that is on reserve price. So RO head CAC can fix. So when the realizable value of the security is more than the guideline value, if it is sanctioned by branch, RO head can fix the reserve price. What the reserve price he has to fix? The realizable value. Okay. If it is not successful, the first bid you have gone on the realizable value, you are not succeeded in the bid. Then it can be reduced by 10%. Who can reduce? RO head CAC. Then that also you are not successful. Then 20% reduction of the realizable value can be there and reserve price to be fixed. Who can do it? DGM, GM, COCAC. Like that, First, when the realizable value is more than the guideline value, that is when it is a branch sanction, RO gate has to fix first time the reserve price based on the realizable value. So subsequent reduction is possible. These are all the subsequent authorities. But friends, before going in for subsequent reduction that is subsequent reduction in the reserve price is possible only when one sale is failed. And whether you have to issue subsequent sale notice to the borrower. Whenever there is a reduction in the price you are fixing, then sale notice to be in both the cases. Whether reduction in the reserve price is reduced or not, sale notice again to be issued. You know the sale notice validity is 30 days. The sale notice to be issued for 30 days. So you issued a sale notice, 30 days is over, borrower is not coming forward, you have fixed the reserve price on the realizable value, you are going for sale. Sale is not successful. Then you are going to reduce the reserve price 10%. So now you have to say, again you are going for sale, whether with reduction on the reserve price or with the same reserve price. If you are going with the same reserve price, another sale, 15 days sale notice is sufficient. If you are reducing the reserve price and going for sale, 30 days sale notice is required. Originally 30 days sale notice. When second sale you are going, you have to see whether the sale price is reduced or not reduced. If it is reduced, again 30 days sale notice. If it is not reduced, 15 days sale notice. That means in both the cases, whether reduced or not, you have to give sale notice to the borrower. Okay, like that I have given. If the sanction is by RO, who can fix the reserve price? If the sanction is by CO, if the sanction is by head office. So this is a new change this year. If the realizable value is more than the guideline value. Next slide you see. So next slide you see. If guideline rate is more than the realizable value. Sometimes the guideline rate in some areas, the guideline rate will become more than the realizable value. In that case, this is a change this has brought in this year. Who can fix the reserve price? Say, first instance, irrespective of the credit sanctioning authority, RO get to fix the reserve price. At what rate? Guideline rate. So again, I am repeating, if the guideline value is more than the realizable value, so that is irrespective of the sanctioning authority, RO head will fix the reserve price, that is at the guideline rate. One sale you have to go, sale is not successful. You want to reduce the reserve price, then who has to reduce the reserve price? I have mentioned that. Second instance, if action fails, irrespective of the credit sanctioning authority, reserve price to be fixed at market value by CO head CSC. So guideline value, RO head CSC. So sale fail. Then you fix the reduced reserve price on the market value. Who can fix it? The market value, it can be fixed by, that is, first is on the guideline value, the second is on the market value. There also sale has not taken place. Then, subsequent instances, if action fails in the second instance also, irrespective of the credit sanctioning authority, reserve price to be fixed on the realizable value or below the realizable value also. First guideline value, then market value, then realizable value. Either on realizable or less than realizable. First on guideline value, he cannot reduce less than the guideline value. Second, it is on the market value. He cannot reduce below the market value. But when it comes to the third instance, authorities can fix on the realizable value or less than the realizable value. Okay, then who is the authority? You see, CGM, HOCAC to fix the reserve price at the realizable value or reduction up to 35% of the realizable value. Then next, so sale is not through. Then EDCAC to fix the reserve price at reduction up to 36% to 40% of the realizable value. Like that, various authorities are having power. Questions will come. So when the realizable value is more than the guideline value, when the guideline value is more than the realizable value, who has to fix the reserve price? These questions they are asking frequently, and bank has also changed the guidelines in the current year as compared to previous year. Okay, circular is there issued by Madam Vijay Lakshmi, the General Manager on Recovery Wing. Yes, it is there. Okay, sir, good. So sale notice, 30 days sale notice, sale to be effected after completion of 30 days only. Now, I want to ask you a question. So you have fixed the sale, everything is over. So sale is also over. The successful bidder you have got. So he has paid money. So when he has paid the money, what you have to do? You have to go to take him to sub-registrar office and register the property in his name, isn't it? So when you go to on behalf of the borrower, you are going because borrower is absconded. So you are going to sub-registrar office. To the successful bidder, you have to give the property. How you will give the property? Registering in his name. Okay, before registering the property in his name, the borrower is come running to you, or the mortgager is come running to you. Sir, this is my ancestral property. I could not get money so far. Now I got all the money. Take it and give the property to me. Till which day the borrower has the right to redeem the property? That was the question asked. Till 2016, till the year when the Surface Act is amended, so the borrower has the right to redeem the property till the last minute, till the property is transferred to the purchaser's name. Now, borrower has the right to redeem the property till you publish the sale notice only. So he will come and demand from the property from you till you issue the sale notice. Once you issue the sale notice, he cannot demand. If you want, you can give. Let's assume good property, sale is over. He has not demanded the property till sale notice, but he is coming in the last minute. He is coming and requesting. He cannot demand. He is coming and requesting you. My question is, so last minute, everything is over. The property has to be transferred in the purchaser's name. Borrower is coming and begging. He is crying. He got every money. Whether you can stop the registration and give the property to the borrower or no. You can do. Authorized officer, secured creditor can do. Your question is, sir, how sir? Already sale is over. That fellow paid all the money. How you are now telling I will not give the property to you? You see your advertisement, small star you will put, conditions apply. Isn't it? Your deposit rate you are putting 9%. That is for super senior citizen. You put a small star and write there. No, same thing. So the secured creditor has the right till last minute, but the borrower cannot demand. The borrower can demand. The difference between demanding and requesting. The borrower can demand right to redeem the property till the publication of the sale notice only. Under 5 minutes, I will finish up. Okay. Then next, so how you will sell the property? By inviting tenders, or holding public action, or by obtaining quotations, or by private treaty also. People will not come forward to go for public action because they are afraid. So they will come to the secured creditor and tell, sir, I am buying the property. So you can go for private treaty also. Okay, I'll tell you. So if the property value is up to 100 lakhs, you have to go for one that is auction. In this action, if the bank has failed, bank can go for private sale. Then you can go for private sale. If the property value is up to 100 lakhs, you go for one public sale. In that public sale you failed, nobody is there, you can go for private treaty. If the property value is above 100 crores, first you go for one sale, failed. You go for another sale, that also you failed. Then you go in for private treaty. These are all the questions they will ask you. When you can go for which is correct option. Okay, this is the case. All public auctions to be conducted online. For liability less than 4 lakhs, so all liabilities to be conducted online e-auction only. If the liability is less than 4 lakhs, you can conduct offline also. Up to that, beyond that, you should do. Okay, sir? So, on the date of conclusion of the sale, bid is over. Bid is over. 1 crore, you have fixed the property, price of the property. 10% the earnest money he has given along with the bid. So, remaining 15% he has to 1 crore, you have fixed the reserve price. 10 lakhs he has already given along with the bid. So, he is successful bidder. When the successful bidder, you are confirming him, he is a successful bidder. The same day, he has to give you another 15 lakhs. So, that is on the date of conclusion of the sale, 25% of the reserve price has to be paid by the successful bidder, including the earnest money deposited. Okay, then balance money when he has to give. If he fails, the earnest money deposited will be forfeited and the property will be resold. Under which section of the SARFAESI Act? Rule number 9, section 3 of the SARFAESI rules. The next point, within 15 days, balance amount to be paid. Secured creditor can give 3 months time. If he is not able to pay within 15 days, the balance amount of 75%, secured creditor, the bank can give him 3 more months time. This is as per the rule. Sale will be confirmed only if the offered price is more than the reserve price. Issue sale certificate upon the receipt of the entire sale process. So this slide is a new point in this circular. I think with this we'll be ending up the session. For sale proceeds of 50 lakhs and above. So you are selling on behalf of the borrower. So the money you are going to get 50 lakhs and above, you have to deduct TDS. TDS is coming everywhere now. Okay. If the sale process is 50 lakhs and above, the successful bidder to deduct TDS at appropriate rate from the sale process and remit to the government with PAN number of the borrower. Borrower's property, no? You are selling the borrower's property. So, if the sale value is above 50 lakhs, appropriate TDS rate to be deducted. So, you have to remit to the government on behalf by quoting the PAN number of your borrower. Not your PAN number or not to the purchaser's PAN number. Okay, this is a new point. If the successful bidder fails to remit the balance amount within the stipulated time, either 15 days or 3 months, within the stipulated time, already deposited amount will be forfeited and credited to commission not taxable miscellaneous receipt, that is SLGET, new point given in this year's circular, and property will be resold as per rule number 9(5) of SARFAESI rules. Friends, in this PowerPoint, the sections and the rules and the amount and the time limit is important from the examination point of view. So questions will come. Then last point, it is possible that the borrower may intimate CERSAI that he has paid all the dues and request for satisfaction of charge. He may apply. See, CERSAI, when the borrower has closes the loan, you will go to CERSAI and clear the CERSAI registration. No, the borrower will tell the CERSAI, all the loans have been cleared, so I want to clear that is this one. Then in that case, the CERSAI will not immediately clear based on the borrower's request. He will write a letter to you. So Canara Bank, you have made a CERSAI charge. The borrower is telling that he has cleared the liability, whether I can clear satisfaction of charge you have to give. All those things to be replied by the bank to CERSAI within 14 days. Otherwise, he will clear. The problem is for us. Okay, sir. So all the answers for this also I will post in the group. So if you read these slides and if you hear again what I have told for all these questions under SARFAESI, you will be able to answer. It is 5:45. I promise I am stopping the session. In spite of we have some more things, we will see the next available opportunity. Thank you, friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
I'm searching for that. Please, sir. And close there.
Good evening, friends.